He equates
Mhm.
me getting a haircut.
Mhm.
She equates me losing weight with looking younger. Because when I was younger, I had a haircut and I was less heavy. So that was how she started noticing it.
Oh, hey.
So,
Well, I'm still a work in progress.
I think I've leveled off. I don't think I'm trying not to lose any more weight. I actually had ice cream for dessert last night.
Oh, hey, awesome. You need to have a seat. And you're not allowed to sit on the first row or the second row.
You can't sit in the second row, you have to go in the back.
Deputy Laura, my mom told me her puzzles arrived. You know what? We need to start putting together our puzzles in the back. We've fallen off on that.
Glue, more glue.
I'm going to get us some more glue. All right, I'm going to call the docket. When I call the docket, you need to stand and let me know you're here. Otherwise, I'm going to assume you're not here and a warrant may be issued for your arrest. In custody, Daniel Martinez, Amber Salazar, Vencio Gonzalez. Thank you. Amadan Smith, custody. Mal Spinton, that's 130. Raymond Garza, Alfred Robago, James Davis, Jose Mila Castillo, Timothy Zapata, custody, John Anthony Martinez. Thank you. Joe Kantu, Maria Herrera, Joshua Pollard, Elturio Espinoza, Carlos Ruiz, custody, Roxan Gonzalez.
Council President, Judge, I'm expecting that.
All right, thank you. Gerardo Morales, Toby McKee, Ezekiel Chavez, custody, Christopher Tina, Ashley Nicole Rodriguez. Thank you. Gabriella Medine, Gabriella Renee Medine, Daniel Martinez, Channing McFarland, Carlos Ruiz, Javier Herrera, custody, Tyler Ashbaugh. I don't know if this should be on the docket or not. I'm gonna double check. Rodney Patterson, custody, April Perez. Wasn't this taken care of yesterday?
She's on call.
Thank you. Luis DeLeon. Luis Alberto DeLeon. Emmanuel Thompson, custody. Thank you. Emmanuel Chavaria. Emmanuel Chavaria. Juan Castanada, custody. Karen San Miguel, custody. Thank you. Desiree Gutierrez. Thank you. Alexis Rodriguez, custody.
Is in custody for a bond setting.
All right, thank you. Noel Balderas, custody. April Diaz. April Diaz. Daniel Martinez, Sydney Peterson, Amadan Smith, custody. Is there anyone who came in late or your name was not called? All right, attorneys, we're taking our recess at noon because we have a jury trial starting at 1:30. These are the rules. If you have somebody in custody, ask the deputy to bring them out. Once you've requested your inmate, do not leave this courtroom because for security reason, there is a limited number of inmates that can be brought out. If you leave the courtroom, when you've requested your inmate will be taken back to the Bexar County Jail and you will be back here on Thursday or either Wednesday. Do not talk when we're on the record behind the court reporter. If you're in the box with your client, just raise your hand. The deputy will move you to the other end. Probation is there. If you have someone who is going to receive probation, or if the person is on probation, you need to confer with probation. If your client wishes to speak to the court in a language other than English, then we will need an interpreter. It doesn't matter whether you speak the language or not. Just ask the clerk or coordinator to call down the interpreter. Once you've conferred with the state and conferred with your client, then you're ready to approach the court. When you're ready to approach the court, just ask the clerk to pull your file. Once you've requested your file be pulled, have a seat. Please do not stand here and stare me down because I'm going to take you in the order of appearance and you're just standing there staring me down. It's not helping at all. Do not talk on this side when we are on the record. Do not approach when we're on the record because I want 100% of my attention to the people who are in front of me. So the day is Tuesday. We're closer than ever before. You know, yesterday when we were close, we're closer now to Friday than we were yesterday. So it's a great day. Everyone, please confer.
But can I approach and ask you a quick question?
Sure.
On a court-appointed case, will you appoint toxicologist to review the evidence?
Oh, you file whatever motion you want to file and I'll
Okay. I just wanted to bring it up to you. I didn't
Sure.
want to waste your time.
Oh, no, let me just tell you, none of my time is wasted. I'm here.
Okay.
We're doing okay. Good morning, I'm here. Sitting in one and then.
Hello. Hi, good morning.
All right. Smith? Yes. That's yours.
Yes, you did.
I have somebody direct for it.
This is good. And they can share with us. They can share with us.
Norma, does Ashbrook have something on the docket? Because his jury trial is for March 24th. So he has a motion to suppress on March 24th and jury trial on March 25th. All right, state, Tyler Ashbrook, that's on page 6, that shouldn't be on the docket.
It's here now. She was the one who called it up.
All right, what's her name?
Roxan Gonzalez.
Take a roll, man.
All right, thank you. Right, Roxanne San Miguel or Karen Munoz?
To the box.
Yes. All right, if you come down. All right, so we're here for an update on ISF. And on this one, Mr. Garahan, I think defense is requesting that the ISF be removed.
Yes, Your Honor, I've discussed it with probation. They've confirmed that she cannot go to ISF with the medication. We've had several women in the jail that have been sent there and they've been sent back because they have the same medication. What I'm recommending the court is either lifetime recovery or intensive outpatient. I'm leaning toward intensive outpatient. I think she's very motivated to get on with her life.
Well, what medications are you on and what are the medications for?
I was not aware of this program. When I got to jail, I was there about 3 weeks and, it's an antagonist for opiates. It's a whole program with the with the recovery motion that I'm taking. And, the medication it's a blocker. So it's just no withdrawal, no break, absolutely, it just makes you have a life basically.
So
Better
you-
than methadone, like
So you know the name of the medication?
it's called Subutex.
Okay. And how long have you been on this medication?
3.5 months, well, since I got to jail, 3 weeks after I got to jail.
And this program that you're in, if you're released, do you have a case manager to work with you on the dosage?
Christine Denning, she's the probation officer that heads up the MAP program.
All right, Christine, what?
Denning, she's in the probation department that runs the program, the MAP program. And also I already have a prescription in my property for when I am released.
All right, Ms. Abrams.
Yes, sir. So I did get confirmation that Ms. Emmanuel Munoz has been participating in the jail MAP program and she is receiving that medication. The medication is used to treat opioid use disorder, and unfortunately, all the state programs do not will not provide it. We're trying to make it available in our local facilities, but we haven't gotten there either. Ms. Denning is one of our assessors, and she does work with the Center for Healthcare Services.
All right, so she will have someone through probation. Is it going to be Christine Denny that follows up?
If I would ask that if we're going to amend conditions for her release, that we start with either lifetime recovery or intensive outpatient treatment, and then amend for a Center for Healthcare Services referral. Ms. Denning is not a officer that carries a caseload, so she wouldn't be the one to follow up and make sure that she's doing what she needs to do. It would be her actual officer doing that.
All right, would Lifetime Recovery accept her? Do we know?
I don't know the answer.
Judge, we would do the referral process.
All right, here's my concern.
Yes,
And I
ma'am.
want you to be successful on this probation. And the last thing I want is for you to be released and then something happens, you fall off, you use,
Yes, ma'am.
because I'm not a chemist. Bashan, even though I was president of my chemist high school, but you know, that of chemistry and physics, that doesn't mean that I'm a chemist or a physicist. So I don't know what would happen to you if you were on this drug and you decided to end up using. So I do want a placement for you. Lifetime Recovery is a very good program, and Lifetime Recovery won't take them that long to accept you. Okay,
Can I say something?
sure.
I've been locked up for going on 5 months.
Mhm.
I've never been away from my family this long. I lost my grandfather and I feel like a horrible daughter being away from my mom. Can't be. I know that I made a horrible decision. I feel like this Bear County broke me. I want to go home.
No, I understand you're saying that, but the problem is you're not looking at the big picture. And the big picture of this is that you were on probation, right? You were placed on probation in 2023. And then what ends up happening? You have a motion to revoke filed, and the motion to revoke that was filed against you was for a new number one. And a new number one means that you were on probation and you committed a new crime.
Yes, ma'am.
All right. So where we are is there are some judges who would have revoked you and you would have been doing your time at prison, and then you would have been released from prison, and then it would have been, oh, well. Right.
Yes.
So I am trying to make sure that I don't see you back here again, because who knows what will happen? Either you'll come back or maybe you'll overdose. I don't know. So there are consequences to all of our actions. Sometimes we don't face the consequences on the front end. Sometimes we end up facing them on the back end. But you're looking at potentially 5 years in prison if you're unsuccessful. And everybody will always tell me, and your attorney will tell you, you know what? They find Jesus at the jail, and sometimes they do. And, I'm a Christian, right? So I know that sometimes people do find Jesus at the jail, and sometimes they will never get in trouble again. But then what I can tell you, about 85% of the people, and I've done the statistics, about 85% of the people say they found Jesus at the jail. They're never going to get in any trouble again. They need to be with their family. They want to be with their children. A family member passed or a family member is sick. I want to take care of them. You know what ends up happening? They get released. They go out in the world. They have the best of intentions, but then all of these temptations hit them. It's sort of like when people are on church on Sunday, when they're in church on Sunday, it is great because everybody there is saying they're going to follow the rule, the golden rule. It's going to be great. You pay your tithes or whatever at the church. And then when you're released, Sunday, you're still feeling the glow. Then Monday, something hits you. Tuesday, something hits you. And you forget all about what happened in church on Sunday. And the cycle starts over. So what's going to happen is I am going to have you referred to lifetime recovery. And what we'll do, Mr. Young, is we'll bring her back in 2 weeks. If she is not accepted into lifetime recovery by that time in 2 weeks, then I'll do something else. And it'll most likely be intensive outpatient treatment. But if she is not accepted into lifetime treatment because she says, I'm not going to lifetime treatment, that's something
I
different.
understand that.
All right. So, Ms. Abrams, and I'm sorry, State, do you have any objections to her being, the conditions being amended and altered to lifetime recovery?
No, yeah.
All right. So what we will do is we're going to alter and amend conditions. To lifetime recovery. And Jenna, she's to be released to lifetime recovery only. A referral to Center for Healthcare Services. And continued participation in the MAP program. Is that MAP? MAT in the MAP program. Probation, is there anything else? Is there anything else you need from the court? All right, you're welcome. Thank you.
Your Honor.
And Norma, if you could put her on the docket in 2 weeks, we'll make it a phantom setting. Okay. Yes. No, you can put it on the 17th.
It's a March.
The Ides of March are upon us. I'll never forget. In junior high, of course, they call it middle school now. It was the Ides of March. And whenever I would read Shakespeare after that, whenever somebody's talking about the Ides of March, you're like, here comes trouble.
Yep. Yep. Your comment of being no, or not being a chemist.
Mhm.
You knew I was a Green Beret medic.
Oh, well, I didn't know that.
You didn't?
No, I didn't know you were a medic. I knew you were in the military, but I didn't know you were a Green Bay medic.
I was a Green Beret medic. I was the medical specialist for an A-team. And then after I got out of the Army, I went to college and law school, and I went back in as a JAG officer for 20 years. But I made it as far as E6 on as a medic. And we were always called doc by the people on the team. But I know that I'm not a doctor, certainly not 32 years after I retired.
Oh, no. And I always tell everybody my chemistry days are behind me.
Okay.
You know, I always tell people if you don't use it, you lose it.
Oh, yes. Yeah, I was, I had to make a really serious decision whether I was going to become a doctor or a lawyer.
Mhm.
And I was lazy, so that's where I went.
Oh,
Because
okay.
I'm not a very good memorizer.
Mhm.
And I had been the chief driver in the 101st JAG office before going to Special Forces. And I noticed that the lawyers weren't working nearly as hard as I was.
Oh, and Bashan, could you give me information, send me information on the MAT program? All right, thank you. All right, Alexis Rodriguez. Good morning. Have you conferred with the state?
Yes, there's a note on that.
All right.
It's all been, yeah.
All right, and where's your client? Court is calling. Hey, hi, sure, well, good morning. Court is calling NYMAC number 738-729, State versus Alexis C. Rodriguez. Can I have parties announced for the record for the state,
Jason Jerry, Your Honor.
for the defense?
Mick Aguilar on behalf of Alexis Rodriguez.
And are you Alexis Rodriguez? All right, counsel, you're here for, to set bond.
Yes, Judge.
My understanding that an agreement has been reached with the state to set the bond at $5,000. Is that correct?
I visited with Mr. Garrett yesterday. He wrote in.
Yes, Your Honor.
All right,
I
thank
did
you.
remind him that we were gonna be here this morning.
All right, state, any requests for any conditions?
Not that I'm aware of, Your Honor.
All right, thank you. You may be excused.
Thank you.
All right, can you raise your right hand for me, please? Do you solemnly swear or affirm the testimony you give will be the truth and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yes.
All right, you can lower your hand, state your name for the record.
Alexis Rodriguez.
All right. So these questions I'm going to ask you, they're related to your conditions of bond, not the case that you have before me. Do you understand?
Yes.
All right, so first question. Have you ever been diagnosed with any type of mental health issues?
No.
Have you ever been to see a psychiatrist? Have you ever been placed on any type of medications? All right. Have you ever used any type of drug in the past?
Marijuana.
Anything other than marijuana? No. And if you were drug tested today, what would the results be? All right. So
Well, with that question, John. She was on a bond. Affidavit with some surrender was filed and granted. She was picked up on December 21st. I know they can get a quantity of drugs in the jail, but I don't think you get a chance to smoke marijuana.
Okay.
But she's been there 2 months. Court-appointed lawyer wasn't doing his job. And they-
Well, I wanted, and the reason why I asked you whether or not you would test positive, because sometimes drugs stay longer in the system, but I don't want to get into the facts of your case because you're charged with marijuana possession.
But yeah, she's been locked up for in excess of 60 days.
All right. All right, this is what the court is going to do. I'm going to set your bond at $5,000. There's going to be regular UAs, waive fees. And in the past, when you use marijuana, how often were you using?
I would say like every week, 3 weekends.
Okay. And I'm going to do 60 sober meetings in 60 days. All right, counsel, is there anything else?
Now, when you say sober meetings, it's like an AA,
Yes,
it's doing my church.
yes, that's what they call them now.
Sober meetings.
Yes. All right, is there anything else?
Nothing further from us, Judge.
All right, thank you. They'll probably release you sometime at midnight. And what is this 444 on your chest?
It's angel numbers, protection.
All right,
Protection.
okay. All right, well, you got to do your part.
Thank you.
All
Judge.
right, thank you.
Have a seat, ma'am.
Hello, sure.
So I have a question. And so we ran into, and he's fallen off of everyone's radar again. So I don't know if you remember. This is pre-COVID.
Oh.
So one of the very first appointments you gave.
Mhm.
Guy named Antonio Randall.
Okay,
He has, he had, 2 assault public servants and an
Mhm.
MTR. Based on my conversation with him that day you met, that I met him, that you appointed me, I had him evaluated for sanity. He came back insane.
how do you spell his last name?
Randa, I think it's double L, and first name's Antonio. And so the report came back, by the time the report came back, his mental health had spun out so badly, he was incompetent. So like,
Yes.
he was incompetent forever. And then he kind of fell in, like, he never caught a bed. He was just, and then they came up with the bail-based restoration. They finally got him restored to competency.
Mhm.
He still suffers from his mental illness. He still suffers from certain delusions, but he's Texas competent. So we tried to do an NGRI plea twice with Judge
Mhm.
Carruthers.
Mhm.
And he is insistent upon pleading no contest. Like, despite me trying to explain it to him, And again, it feeds into a delusion of he's afraid it'll affect his ability to get a law license.
Okay.
Okay, so that's why, because and I think what it really is all of his years in the system, no contest is what he's always done. So I think it's what's ingrained in his head. I think that's what's really going on. But once again, especially with Judge Carruthers retiring, he kind of fell off. He was supposed to have been referred back here, but I've never gotten a setting on it. And so what Sally and I had talked about, Sally and I had talked about is maybe what we just do is a bench trial where we submit to you the sanity report and he can plead no contest. And then you can review the expert's report and make your decision.
All right, well, you all can do that with Judge Rodriguez.
Can she do that too? Like Judge Carruthers didn't seem willing to do it. But again, that was coordinated with Angela, so.
Mhm.
But as far as I know, it's been referred back to you.
Is your client in custody?
Mhm.
All right, Deputy Laura, can you have someone brought over fast track? Let's just have him brought over. Let me speak to him.
Okay.
If you'll give her the information and his
Okay.
SID number.
Thank you, Judge.
You're welcome. Okay. Okay. All right, let's see if we can get him here.
Want to do it tomorrow morning or something?
No, let's see if we can get him. Let's strike while the iron's hot, as they say.
Second row.
Roxan Gonzalez. And counsel, you on this side.
Thank you. Getting to that age, I can't remember all the different.
All right, so on this case, hello.
Hi, Mom.
On this case, where are we on discovery?
Judge, I believe I have most of the discovery, but I do need to file my blood motion to get the blood evidence to me. I did get an offer today, Judge. I'd like to file. It's the normal discovery motion, a blood motion.
All right, so that blood discovery motion needs to be filed by this week. And state, once you receive that, tender it to the court so that I can sign it.
Yes, Judge.
So that's to be filed. Are you able to get it filed by Thursday?
Judge, if you could give me until Monday, that would be great. I've got giant discovery deadline on the civil case Thursday, and then I've got a civil trial on Friday.
All right, the blood discovery motion needs to be filed by March 3rd. And state, once you receive that, present it to the court.
Yes, sir.
And then, Norma, set this for the end of March for plea deadline date. All right, your next court date is going to be March 31st. You need to be on time for court. You understand? All right, thank you for dressing appropriately for court. Once you sign the reset form, you're excused.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you, Judge.
Thank you. Yes, and yes, so he's back on the 31st.
Because you have to find drugs.
Emmanuel Thompson.
Good morning, Your Honor.
Good morning. Good morning.
I am on two of these cases. Mr. Thompson has a second court-appointed attorney on the third case.
All right, who's the other attorney on the third case?
I think it says Russell Mitchell, Judge.
Russell Mitchell.
That is correct.
All right.
Your Honor, I'm asking for a brief reset. I know we're set for trial on this matter, but it appears this is one that's going to work out.
Okay.
Mr. Thompson was issued a bench warrant from here in February of 2023, but it wasn't executed till January of 2025, when he made it back to Bexar County. I'm asking for this reset so that I can contact these other counties that he's been bouncing around and to get him credit for those other 2 years that this bench warrant was floating out there, so that he gets credit for any time if this does end up getting resolved by exam.
All right, and state, did you tender an offer?
We tendered a tentative offer, Your Honor.
That is correct, Your Honor. They did tender a tentative offer.
All right.
So the cases that we conferred on, all cases would be resolved, but we conferred on the offer and it would be with this attorney.
All right. So, Norma, let's recall this back on March 17th. All
Thank
right.
you, Your Honor.
And sir, if they want to, if you're, excuse me, you're talking too loud. And number 2, we don't use profanity in this courtroom. All right. All right. So we're going to bring you back on March 17th. And if your attorney is able to work things out sooner than that, he'll let us know and we'll bring you over. What I can tell you is whatever credit you have, because you were in different counties and it took us a long time to find out where you were,
Yes.
you will receive credit for that. So you're entitled to all of that time legally. All right?
Thank you, Your Honor. Your Honor, do you require a discovery acknowledgement and punishment election today?
No.
Thank you, Judge.
Okay, thank you. And Norma, can you talk to Defense Counsel Russell and see if it would be best if just one attorney is on all of the cases? Yes. Mhm. Mhm. Okay. All right. Okay, thank you. Desiree Gutierrez. Good morning. So are you ready on the motion to revoke?
Well, Judge, I wanted to talk with you about that.
Yes.
So do you have a copy of the motion already?
Yes.
Okay, I got a copy for you.
You mean the copy of the motion to revoke? Yes, I have a copy of the motion to
Okay,
revoke.
perfect. So Judge, we have kind of a unique situation here. Honestly say, I don't think I've ever had it before. She's doing pretty well on her probation, but she has these positive blows. She'd had an accident, not a major accident, and she started having problems with it. And so she had the blows on the 16th of December, and then she she on the 17th, which is the last violation, she blew it was a .030 again. So her mom is actually in DWI court and has a ignition lock. She knew she hadn't been drinking, so she went over and she blew in her mom's, which came back as 0. I can't get those records yet. I'm gonna go see if I can get those records for you to show that. She also, and I talked to the prosecutor about all this. She also took the car into the installation people. Do you mind if I give her this?
All right, so are y'all ready to go on the motion to
Well,
revoke? Because you all are presenting evidence, so.
Well, Judge, I don't have all the documentation you're gonna want. So unless you think that you're not gonna need that, she didn't actually violate. She was never drinking, so. But all I have right now is the documentation from the installer indicating what he did in his conversations with the Toxilog. I have not been able to get through the Toxilog to get their documentation, and nor have I been able to get the Toxilog records for her mom, which I think will show that there really was a problem with the ignition airlock in this situation.
Mhm.
In which case, I think I would request that if the state would, consider withdrawing it, if that is the situation. She's doing well on probation other than that. So, Judge, I guess what I'm saying is, if you think that's enough documentation for that, if you need additional, of which it does exist, then we would need to get a reset to get that documentation. But Judge, in this case, I truly believe my client did not violate at all. So I really I don't want her to have to post a big bond when she's, it was really truly in this situation, a problem with the device. If you want us to go ahead and get the additional documentation, I request if perhaps you might consider withdrawing the warrant and issuing a summons for her to come back. I don't know how you feel about that sort of thing. I've never done that in this court.
Well, have you all conferred on this?
We've conferred on it, Judge, and based on my conversations with Ms. Ruiz, if she is able to obtain this record from Intoxilog, I believe that they possibly could be exculpatory. And my issue with the evidence that she's provided today, I don't know who that person is. I don't know if that person has a special relationship with the defendant and it's just putting stuff on the document and just put it on there. So that's why I still feel comfortable proceeding on a motion right now, but I will agree, summons if the court is in.
So with regards to the intoxilate, is that on the ignition interlock? Do they do that by camera?
Yes.
So then if she was blowing in her mom's device, which she shouldn't have, they should have that?
Yes, yes, Judge.
All right, so what's Intoxilock's number?
I can look that up for you, Judge. I don't know if probation has a special contact number, but I'm just looking for the main number.
Any objections to the court calling Intoxilock?
No, Judge.
None from defense.
All right, just have a seat.
Okay, Judge, I have a number for them.
Is it the 88 number?
See, 844-909-2406, that's just the main number.
Mhm.
It's not a special number. But,
Okay, all right, just have a seat.
and just so you'll be aware, she had a number of requirements on her probation. She's done the AA meetings, 90 days of the AA,
Okay,
the parenting class, the
All right,
VIP, in
so-
a lifetime.
just have a
Okay.
seat. All right, thanks.
Yes, thanks, Judge. Go ahead.
Hello?
Hello?
Laura, just give me 5 minutes, please.
Anthony Chavez. Kantu, move over. Gabriella Medine.
I'll pick up your matter in just a moment.
Cody Davis.
All right, who's here with the interpreter? Who's your client?
Ezekiel Chavez.
Ezekiel Chavez? Good morning. All right, please lower your hand. Do you see I have someone before me? That's rude. I'll get to you when I'm able to get to you. Your case has not been pulled up here. Do you understand? I mean, you start with the profanity and now you're interrupting proceedings. Don't do that. Hi, it's going to be a great day.
Yeah.
All right, so where are we on discovery?
Judge, we have an issue. He did not speak English. So I have an interpreter here. We need to get a Spanish speaker.
All right, so your attorney wishes to be removed because he is not a Spanish speaker. Do you have any objection to that?
No.
All right, thank you. You'll be removed and we will obtain a Spanish speaker. All right, thank you.
Judge, continue.
Just have a seat. All right, who's here, a Spanish speaker? Defense attorney? Look, I'm just gonna go down the line and they're gonna deny it. If you deny it, you deny your ancestors. Spanish speaker? All right, do you? Awesome. No. I just want to make sure you speak it fluently. All right, this is Norma. Can you place him on this case? It's a Ezekiel Chavez.
Okay.
And it's a terroristic threat against a peace officer. Thank you. See, I knew when I said you deny your ancestors, when you do that, somebody was going to say, oh, I can't do it.
We were talking about our case.
Okay, all right, thank you. Thank you.
Yes, thank you.
They'll be ready on that. Cody Davis. All right, come down. Come down.
I have talked with the district attorney.
Okay,
They made an offer, he's considering it. DEA, did you call the case or anything?
all right, so you have all the discovery?
No, we're missing a piece. It's really strange to us. This would a body cam. We can't seem to find it. I've even brought a USB and I guess it's your feet.
All right, do you know where
For
body cam, do you know where that is?
No idea, Your Honor.
All right, have you looked for it?
I have a,
Been told what body cam it is, so I'm not sure which one it is that I'm supposed to look for. So
All right.
At this point, no, Jim.
All right, so if you will talk to the state, let them know which body cam it is, maybe they can pull it up for you now.
okay.
All right, thank you.
But we'd still like a reset. I want to get a investigator to contact baby mama's boyfriend, who allegedly owned the car in the process. And the state was gonna look into ownership of the car.
All right, so let's see first about the body cam, so you can have that, then your investigator will have something. So yes,
Okay, do you mind if was I read on some things? I first got assigned Mr. Hayek with a theft. I showed up for court, right? They had just changed the Odyssey thing. So the bailiff told me to talk to the coordinator, however it was on the other side, it was in county court, right? Well, she gave me a piece of paper saying, call in 2 weeks. Well, Mr. Hayek didn't see me there apparently and got me a FTA, right? So I knew I had an FTA when they walked up on me until I ran, right? I did do that, right? But I
let me
did
ask
show
you
up to
something,
court.
let me ask you something. So why are you admitting to committing crimes? Because that's what you've just done.
Yes, ma'am, because I did evade arrest.
All right, so you just admitted to a crime, so that's eliminating probably one defense your attorney may or may not have for you.
Oh, I understand that, but I'm just honest with what I did. So, I just want to be honest with you. So then I had my, people call Mr. Hayek and talk about, okay, well, I got arrested. I got shot with a flare gun, right? And it caught some stuff on fire. I bonded out on all these charges. I paid $2,200. I was out 3 days. I was there on the side of the road trying to put the fire out. The fire marshal said, there's no evidence to charge me with the crime, right? But Bear County's charged me anyways, and it pulled all my bonds. I paid $2,200 to get out, right? I got things going on with my kids. I just started seeing my 3-year-old kid. I was just helping them on the side of the road. Well, it pulled all my bonds. So I was gonna see if somehow, cause I had Charles Bunk. And he read on there, on the police report, it says, there's no evidence to charge James Cody Davis, right? But they did anyway, so he got it, he went, and he was like, I don't even know how they even didn't reject you. So he went and got it thrown out before it was indicted or anything, right? Within a week after he seen me the first time, Charles Bunk. So, I was gonna see somehow, like I paid $2,200 to get out for 3 days, and I was putting a fire out there when I got shot with a flare gun, right? So if there's any way you can look into that or reinstate my bonds or something, because I was only out 3 days and I wasn't even supposed to get arrested for this arson, and I'm the one that got shot by a flare gun and it caught my shirt on fire. I'm still in jail. You know what I mean? Like, if there's any way you could help get my bonds reinstated. I was through Armstrong.
Well, with regards to bonds being reinstated, your bondsman will need to request that they be put back on your bond. Reinstatement of bond means that I'm telling the bondsman, you're back on this bond. And that's not something that I do.
Okay.
So the bondsman will have to agree to be on your bond.
What
And
about them doubling it? And when I wasn't supposed to get arrested?
excuse me, yes.
Sorry for interrupting you, Mr. Davis. May I be excused to try and look for
Yes.
Thank you.
Yes. So that's where we are. So, and then where we are right now is you're gonna have a seat. He's gonna see if he has the body cam that you're looking for, and then you can approach again. All right, thank you.
Do you have speakers?
No, well, for a reset. Do we need an interpreter for a reset, Judge?
Yes.
So when I was disappointed on.
Oh, okay, have him come down.
I explained to him, almost like it. I've confirmed with the DA and they're gonna give me an offer, but he wants to look at the evidence. So since I've been the attorney about. Ezekiel Chavez.
All right, is he a citizen?
¿Es ciudadano? ¿De dónde? ¿De Mexicano? Mexico now.
All right, so are you gonna handle immigration issues or do you need an immigration attorney appointed?
I am gonna ask
Through the
the
MAC.
office to do an assessment with him.
All right, Norma, we did an immigration through MAC attorney.
Yes, I've done a bunch of them.
Okay, awesome.
Justin Tullius, I think is the.
All right, Norma, I'm gonna recall this for 30 days.
That's why I'm thinking.
All right, so if your attorney wants you to appear before March 31st, then he can request that you be brought over sooner.
So vamos a hablar en esta próxima semana, vamos a hablar. 31 de marzo. Okay. Thank you, Judge. He's been advised March 31st.
Thank you.
Your Honor. The
Yes.
DA has looked through his files of about 9 different videos. So he wants me to look at whatever I have. Look at my office.
All right, thank you. All right, Cody Davis. Come down. Ms. Ferguson, on Cody Davis, reset this for plea deadline date, March 31st. If your attorney wishes for you to be brought over sooner, he'll let us know.
Thank you.
You're welcome, and your attorney can file whatever motions he wants to file with regards to bond issues.
I'll at least call out.
All right,
Sorry
thank you.
for my language and interrupting your court.
No, it's no problem. Sometimes, here's the thing, I understand that these cases that we have, for you, it is the most important thing because it involves your life, right? So I understand how people can get frustrated and upset if you think that people are not hearing you. So apology accepted. We're going to pretend like that never happened, okay?
Thank you.
All right, so we're going to bring you back on March 31st. And if your attorney wants you brought back sooner, he'll let the court know. But as I said before, with regards to bonds, if you're on a commercial bond, there is no reinstating a bond for me unless the bondsman agrees to it. All right, because that's like me telling the bondsman, you're going to get back on this person bond. And they may say, no, we've had problems with this person. We don't want to be back on their bond. So legally, I can't force them to do it, but he's saying that he will call them and see if they will agree to a reinstatement of your bond and have them as your bondsman. Now, whether or not I agree to reinstate it at the same amount will depend on what evidence is presented to me. Do you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, thank you.
And, okay.
No, that's plea deadline. Sure.
I brought down paperwork for Ruiz DeLeon for
Yes.
plea. I have a victim that has the flu. She was diagnosed yesterday and she wants to give victim impact. Can we reset the sentencing though?
She can appear by Zoom.
I think she's like sick and in bed and would prefer Can we do the sentencing next week and take the plea today?
Yes.
Is that okay?
Yes.
Okay,
Sure.
thank you.
Yes.
The 144th and the 399th are both waiting. for
Oh,
this
go
one.
ahead.
Can I do that? And
Yes.
I'll come back. Thank you.
Yes, you're welcome. And Norma, can you call Carl? Yes. Welcome. All right, who's here? Sydney Peterson?
They brought him out yet, but.
Peterson?
Oh, yeah, here.
Yes, do you need to speak to him?
No, it's an MTR, haven't been appointed by Mac yet, talked to the state. He's got a new number one. I just look at the police report. They've got to do some
All
more
right,
following.
Mr. Peterson, come down.
Oh, he's there. Okay.
All right, so what are you saying? You haven't been appointed on what?
On the MTRs, I found out about it today.
All right, Norma, can you make sure he's appointed on the MTR?
Got appointed on the new number one.
Okay. And it's the 2023-1041. Gary, it has you listed on here.
They may have me listed, but
Yeah.
they can send me an email. It says I'm listed.
Yeah, they're saying appointed on February 3rd. But I understand.
Like I said, I've talked to the state. They're looking into it too. To see where the new number one, because they're making a recommendation for ISF subject to what happens in the new number one, and the new number one's kind of screwy, just looking at the police report.
All right, where's? Okay, and then with regards to this new number one, do you have discovery on that?
He gave me a copy of the police report today.
A copy of the CMAG packet, which included a copy of the offense report, as well as recordings from the officers who arrived, but we have no SB 111 statement. We have no prosecution guide. As far as I'm aware, we don't have any victim statements. So it is incomplete at this stage, which is not surprising because the alleged offense date is mid-January of this year, if I remember correctly.
All right, Norma, set this for a contested hearing in 3 weeks, please. All right, March 18th.
All right, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Your Honor.
You're welcome. Bashan, that's Sydney Peterson. I don't know. Who's here on Juan Castanada?
Yeah.
All right, so he has two motions to revoke.
He does, Judge.
Are you all ready to proceed on the motion to revoke?
No, ma'am, we're not. We're here simply to get a bond set. He's not scheduled for docket. He's in jail with no bond.
Okay.
That's why we have agreed recommendations that we'd like to make. For.
And these are both deferred adjudications. All right, court is calling 2017 CR 4615 and 2021 CR 0832 State versus Juan Castanada. Could I have parties announced for the record for the state?
Jason Garahan, Your Honor. James Tudge, Mr. Castaneda, Judge.
All right, the defendant is on deferred adjudication in each of these cause numbers. Because he's on deferred adjudication, he's entitled to a bond in each of these cause numbers. It appears that you all have reached an agreement in the cause number ending 32 to set the bond at 7,500.
Yes.
Yes, 7,500. Sorry, Judge, I couldn't.
No problem.
Apologize.
And
It's also a no contact order we were asking for with a NEPA.
And then, and 1.5, it appears that you all have agreed to a bond of 7,500 as well. Is that correct?
That is correct, including the no contact order again. I believe that will be also on another possible case.
All right. All right, state, you may be excused.
Thank you, Judge.
All right, Mr. Castellano, can you raise your right hand for me, please? Do you solemnly swear or affirm the testimony you give will be the truth and nothing but the truth, so help you God? All right, you can lower your hand, state your name for the record.
Juan Carlos Castaneda.
All right, have you ever seen a psychiatrist before?
No, ma'am.
Have you ever been placed on any type of medications for mental health issues?
No, ma'am.
Have you ever been diagnosed with any type of mental health issues?
No.
Have you ever used drugs in your past?
No.
And what would that be?
Marijuana.
And what else?
Cocaine.
And what else?
Meth.
And what else?
That's it, ma'am.
See, why did I have to do and what else and what else and what else? Okay.
Well, you're asking the questions.
No, you know, Mr. Toshi. All right, the court will grant your motion. The court will set your bond at the agreed amounts of $7,500 in each case. In each case, there's to be no contact with NEFA, Garza, there's to be regular UAs, waive fees. There's to be GPS tracking, waive fees. Norma, set this for 3 weeks for a contested, please. All right, your contested hearing is going to be March 18th. Is there anything else?
No, ma'am.
All right, thank you.
Thank you, Judge.
Yeah.
And if you want to talk to probation,
I do, with the court entertain potentially me reapproaching to set it at a later date, trying to formulate a plan for Mr. Castillo. Potentially.
that plan needs to be formulated before March 18th or by March 18th.
It will change.
All right, if you'll talk with probation.
Yes, ma'am.
Who's here on Ashley Rodriguez? All right, come forward.
Oh, yes, I've conferred with the state.
All right, is she on the docket?
I believe she is, Judge.
No, I mean the person who's back there coughing.
Oh, okay, sorry.
Excuse me, miss, are you on the docket? All right, so I'm gonna have to ask you to wait outside and we'll call you when your son comes up. All right, so where are we on discovery?
I've received everything except two large body cameras, which I've requested. I believe the paralegal will be preparing those. I will file a breath test, standard discovery order. I've conferred with the state. They need to reach out to someone for extending an offer. We asked the court reset it for another setting to see if we can make some progress.
All right, Norma, recall this in 30 days for discovery. All right, March 31st.
Thank you, Judge.
And just 1 second, let me see what page is she on? All right, thank you for addressing appropriately for court. Just have a seat and he'll bring a reset form to you, okay? Thank you. You're welcome. No, Norma, this plea is happening today on Amadan. No, 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 I mean, this note I have. This keeps getting, oh, okay. Who's here on Dan? Amadan Smith,
Yes,
are you all ready to proceed?
yes, Your Honor.
Okay. And what is going to happen with, I have a 2024 CR 01037.
That will be taken into consideration, Your Honor.
Okay. And have you all conferred with probation,
Regarding what, Your Honor?
this case?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay. All right, court is calling 2023 CR 8440 and 2024 CR 3014W, State versus Ahmad Baya. All right, Jordan Smith. Could I have parties announced for the record for the state?
Andrew Harris, Salem.
Todd Lessert for Mr. Smith.
And are you Mr. Smith?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, so if you all could not block the line of vision of probation. Thank you. Mr. Smith, did you review the documents entitled Motion to Revoke Community Supervision and First Amended Motion to Revoke Community Supervision with your attorney?
Yes, Your Honor.
And did you understand it?
Yes, Your Honor.
And cause number 2023 CR 8440. You were placed on probation for the offense of harassment of a public servant on March 4th, 2024 for a term of 8 years. And in 2024 CR 3014W, you were placed on probation on March 4th, 2024 for a term of 8 years for harassment of a public servant. Is that you in both of those cause numbers?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, state. Are you proceeding on the same allegation in each motion?
Yes, Judge.
All right, you may proceed.
On or about the 21st day of March 2024 in Bexar County, Texas, the defendant, Ahmad Jordan Smith, committed the offense of evading arrest, detention in violation of condition number 1.
How do you plead to that? True or not true?
True.
State waives the remaining violation allegations, Judge.
Any objection?
No objections, Your Honor.
All right. Did you understand by pleading true to violation of condition number 1 in each cause number, the court could fine you, well, you're already been found guilty, but the court could sentence you up to 10 years in the prison? Did you understand that by pleading true to violation of condition number 1?
Yes, Your Honor.
Then do you still wish to plead true to violation of condition number 1 in each cause number?
Yes, Your Honor.
In each cause number, the court would find violation of condition number 1 true. Is there a proposed agreement?
Yes, Judge, revoke supervision, amend the judgment. To sentence Mr. Smith to 3 years of confinement in the penitentiary in each case.
All right, why should I follow this agreement? Anyone?
Your Honor, Mr. Smith has already taken responsibility for these matters. We're trying to resolve all of this pending cases as part of the system at the moment. Mr. Smith has a young son up in Kerrville he'd like to spend time with. He's a pipe worker, pipe welder by trade. Would like to be able to return to society as quickly as possible to show that he can be a productive citizen. And we think that this is an appropriate punishment in order to resolve the cases before the court today.
What has he done on probation?
Very little, Your Honor. There was apparently some misunderstanding with the paperwork, and we decided not to take it very seriously. So he made a mistake in judgment.
So is there a reason why I should give you 3 years? Because it appears if you have not done anything on probation, the only thing you've done is commit a new offense.
I've
You want to raise your right hand?
Yes, sir.
Do you solemnly swear or affirm the testimony you give will be the truth and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, you can lower your hand. What have you done since you've been on probation?
I've basically been in jail this whole time. I guess I didn't take it that serious because they didn't have the paperwork whenever I went.
Okay, I don't even know what that means about I've been in jail this whole time. I didn't take it seriously. So let's unpack some suitcases a little bit. I understand that he was to spend time, he was to get stabilized with Center for Healthcare Services. So where are we on that probation?
The information we have indicates that there's not really anything done on this case. There was a mental health screening completed earlier this month. He does have a Tacoma appointment on April the 8th. However, after being released, I don't show that he was reporting. So there's nothing that was done.
All right. You were released from custody. Is that true?
Yes, Your Honor.
After you were placed on probation?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right. How old are you?
32.
All right. So you're 32. It's not as though you're 18. So you were released. Did you ever report?
I reported and they didn't have my paperwork.
All right. So did you ever call back to report again, or you just said you're done?
I called a couple times. There was no.
All right. Did you obtain any employment?
No, Your Honor.
All right. Did you follow up with Center for Healthcare Services?
No, Your Honor.
So where have you been living? Have you been living by yourself?
With my family, my mother.
All right. Were they aware that you were on probation?
Yes, Your Honor.
So why didn't you do anything? I don't understand that.
I thought they didn't. I don't know. I thought something went wrong with the courts or the paperwork.
And you thought, hey, they'll never find out and I'm just lost in the system?
I wasn't hiding anything, Your Honor.
I mean, but you knew you were supposed to report. And when you say you were living with family, what family member?
My mother.
Your mother?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right. I'm gonna give you a choice. This choice is up to you. And probation, I'm sorry, what are you recommending?
Depending on if, according to the court summary, depending on if the pending cases are resolved, continue on probation and close jail for EDRF.
All right, these are your choices. You have two choices and these are your only choices. So don't ask me for anything else. There are only two choices. I can revoke you. I will sentence you to 5 years in the prison. You do your time, you're done. How much time you will have to do or when they are releasing people for parole, that is one thing you can ask other people who are in jail. People in jail can tell you that, and they also can tell you when you're catching chain. That's what you can depend on inmates to be honest about and know something about. Everything else, I wouldn't take their opinion on legal matters. So either 5 years in prison, or either I'll deny the motion, alternate remand conditions. You're gonna stay in custody for that Tacoma evaluation. That Tacoma evaluation, how long is that taking? So it's April 8th. Those are your two choices. You have no other choices. Which do you prefer?
May I ask what the evaluation was for, Your Honor?
It's related to your mental health.
I guess I would prefer the evaluation.
Well, it's not guess. It's
I prefer the evaluation, Your Honor.
all right. And what are you doing with the open cases? Because they can't do anything unless the open cases are disposed of.
Lead on the evading and will TIC the criminal mischief.
All right. And those are the only open cases he has?
As far as I'm aware, yes, Judge.
Correct, Your Honor.
All right, the court in each case is finding violation of condition number 1 true. The court will deny the motion, alter and amend conditions to include the Tacoma evaluation, follow results. And probation, if for any reason they don't accept him or say he's not accepted, let's bring him back to court and figure out what else to do. Yes. And you say the next phase for him is the Tacoma evaluation? All right. Is there anything else he needs, probation? All right, and there's going to be no unsupervised contact. I'm sorry, there's to be no contact with minors until completion of parenting classes. So if you want to see your child, you need to complete parenting classes. Do you understand?
Yes, Your Honor.
Yes. And probation, after he's completed parenting classes, then it will be no unsupervised contact with minors. I like to do things incrementally. So once you've completed your parenting classes, then you'll be allowed to have supervised contact with minors. And then if you're doing well, I'll change it. You understand?
Your Honor, may I ask
Sure.
if I could enroll in lifetime?
All right. Didn't I give you 2 choices?
Oh, my apologies.
No problem. All right. Is there anything else, probation? All right, thank you.
No.
Yes. Here, our counsel.
Thank you, Your Honor.
You're welcome. All right, counsel. I don't understand why he's not entering a plea of not guilty by reason of insanity instead of no contest.
I don't either, Judge.
All right, so it should be a plea.
That's been our dilemma.
I will tell you what, if you want to come up, well, actually, Judge Rodriguez is supposed to do that. So it's supposed to be a not guilty plea by reason of insanity. You do a bench trial and you do the steps the same way you would do plea paperwork. So is that?
I've done numerous
Yeah,
insurance.
so they're not.
But the problem, when explaining to him, he gets hung up on how you're supposed to enter the plea of NGRI. And he's like, well, I want to plead no contest.
Okay, I tell you what, just have him.
So I'm kind of wondering, can we just do what would be tantamount to an open plea where he can plead no contest, but part of the evidence is the sanity report, and then either Judge Rodriguez or yourself can then look at the expert report and make that determination.
All right, so
Yeah.
I think he may be able to plead no contest though, from what I've read.
Okay,
So, and then the judge,
okay. Hey,
but they're bringing, when they bring him over, I'll talk to him if you think that'll help.
well, Judge, you've got a busy docket, and I will tell you conversations with Mr. Randall can
No,
go on.
just have him come. We'll take care of it.
Okay. And I brought Mr. Garahan up to speed, reminding him about
Mhm.
Mr. Randall. But if you think it needs to be referred back to the magistrate court.
No, I'll talk to him and then, yes.
Okay, May I return back to getting my
Yes.
morning docket then?
Yes. Yes.
Hey, Judge. I have April Diaz this morning. It's an MTR. It looks like it's gonna be a contested.
Okay, just 1 second, because I go in order. All right.
Sorry.
All right, no problem. Thank you.
Well, I had a preference on, it's a witness availability issue. I just wanted to get your take on
Okay,
it, but I
just
guess
give
we
me
can
a
wait.
second. Okay, thank you. And Jenna, Mr. Smith is supposed to remain in custody until transfer to DDRM.
So I'm just saying that. Thank you. That's it. Some of them. Yes, so
All right, Amber Salazar. All right, state, were you able to tender an offer?
Yes, Your Honor, we did tender an offer.
And how are you doing today?
Doing good. How about you?
All right,
And Your Honor, we just received the discovery today.
okay.
But we also, in light of the offer that we received, what we would ask, instead of a longer reset, we're actually asking for a reset on Thursday. We think
Okay.
we're gonna most likely accept it. I just don't want to accept it without having viewed the.
All right, Ms.
50
Ferguson,
gig.
if you recall this for February 27th. All right, we'll see you back on February 27th.
Thank you. Excuse, Your Honor.
Yes. Tyron EDS.
Yes, Your Honor.
Yes.
The investigator sent me those three motions so she could get paid on those.
All right, is this case already closed?
Oh, yes, Judge.
Okay, I don't
Yeah, he
understand.
got 25.
Let me see. Let me check to make sure. In the
It
system.
was a family violence case.
Okay. Okay. So council. There's a slight issue.
Yeah, there was just a lot of.
Yes.
Stuff on this.
Because I already know they're gonna look at it, so. All right, and they'll give you a copy in the back.
I appreciate it. You need to go to the back with it?
If you want a copy of it.
To get back. Thank you. Thank you, Judge. Maybe
You're welcome. And so it's just the other one that I'll have to forward to the back.
All right.
And who do you have, counsel? Hi, did you have them pull your phone?
Yes, Judge, it should be here.
Is it April Diaz?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, April Diaz? And you had posted your hair thing. I'm loving it.
Oh, thank you, Judge. Yeah. I mean, I didn't really need it, but like I just thought I was seeing a little bit of thinning, so I just wanted to fill it in before,
No, it looks great.
Thank you.
Oh, and congratulations.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I'm excited.
we're due in July.
Oh, Gino?
That's a boy.
Oh, okay.
So
'Cause
whatever.
I was gonna say you could name it after your travel buddy.
Yeah, well, we might do Alexander Gael Fouts, we'll see. I
Okay.
tried to do like a really really like English name like Alistair, but my wife said no. No,
Okay,
Alistair.
I'm with her with Alistair. People would say, where is this coming from?
Exactly. So Alexander it might be. So we have Alessandra, she's about to be 5, and then Alexander. So
Oh, that'll be awesome. All right, so on this case,
this is our first true setting, Judge.
Mhm.
We came in, I think, last week or the week before to just get the bond set.
Mhm.
We've been in discussion with the state today in regards to Ms. Diaz's case. At this time, it looks like it's gonna be a contested hearing. The only thing is that Ms. Diaz spoke with her husband yesterday. He's in the military and his home base is up in Seattle. But he gets deployed on special missions and things like that. So she spoke to him yesterday. He won't be available until May 8th. He can be available May 9th for Zoom, or in person, Your Honor.
What, is he a witness?
I'd like to have him as a witness, yes. Ms. Diaz currently lives up by
In Fort Cavazos, Colleen?
in Killeen, Your Honor, with her son. So she made the choice to remain so her son could not get uprooted during high school. So she lives here, doesn't have support here. So her only real family support is her husband, who's out on a special mission. But he will be back in May, and to make the court feel comfortable and safe about possibly granting our request to hold that MTR contested hearing until May 8th or May 9th. My client's currently out on bond. She hasn't had any issues. She currently has an interlock in her car, but she's willing to add a scram to her body, Judge, just so that puts you at ease, and also add zero tolerance to her bond conditions if she tests positive.
No, we're gonna have the contested hearing sooner than that. So the contested hearing is going to be in March. I'll allow you all to pick your March date for a contested hearing. What date?
Can I get back to you, Judge? I'll try to see if we can maybe find some way to contact her husband to see if he can be available. She told her yesterday that he couldn't be, but maybe we can find some way. If I could just maybe have a few days to come back to you with a date.
All right, I'll tell you what date I'm gonna put it on. I'm gonna put it on probation. What dates? Tuesdays or Thursdays? All right, so we'll put this for March 25th.
Okay, Judge. Yeah, we'll try to see if we can do what we can do on that.
All right, thank you so much. Once you sign the reset form, you're excused. Ms. Ferguson, it's gonna be contested March 25th.
Thank you, Judge.
You're welcome. And counsel, the reason why for that date is because she's on probation for a DWI and now we have a new application. Okay.
Yes, right. No, I totally understand.
All right, and your client needs to be on time next time. She was late.
Oh, okay. I'll let her know.
Because is she also April Ann Pettis or no?
No, April Diaz.
Norman, what page is April Diaz on? Okay. I have a lot of people with aliases.
Oh, with aliases. Oh.
Yes. Oh, yeah, no, she wasn't on time. She still wasn't on time.
Oh, okay.
So let her know.
I will, Judge. Thank you.
Thank you. Eleuterio Espinoza.
Yes, ma'am.
All right. Court is calling 2025 CR 0000293 State versus Eleuterio Espinoza. Can I have parties announced for the record for the state defense?
Robert Galvin for the defendants.
And are you Mr. Espinoza?
Yes, ma'am.
Off the record for a moment. Norma, what page is he on? All right, is this the only case your client has?
It is, Judge.
All right, we're back on the record. Counsel, have you received all discovery? Did you review it with your client?
Yes, I have.
Court will find that the state is in compliance with discovery. Are there any applications?
No, there aren't.
Mr. Espinoza, did you review the document entitled admonishments with your attorney? Did you understand it and sign it in all the appropriate places?
Yes, ma'am.
Did you understand you're charged with the I'm so sorry. Did you review the true bill of indictment?
Yes.
Counsel, do you waive the reading of the indictment?
We do, yeah.
State, are you proceeding on the indictment as presented? All right. Did you understand you're charged with the offense of tampering with an electronic monitoring device as a state jail felony? Range of punishment is anywhere from 180 days up to 2 years in the state jail facility and up to a $10,000 fine. Did you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
Did you understand you have a right to jury trial, a right for you or your attorney to cross-examine and confront any witnesses the state would call in the right to remain silent?
Yes.
Did you understand by entering this plea, you were giving up those rights?
Yes.
Did you intend to give up those rights and enter into a plea in this case? Did you understand if you have a plea bargain agreement with the state, the court does not have to follow your plea? If for any reason the court does not follow your plea and gives you more than you bargained for, the fact that you entered a plea will not be used against you and you will be allowed to withdraw your plea. Did you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
Counsel, has your client been able, hold on just one moment. Let's go off the record for a moment. Counsel, has your client been able to provide you with any defenses? Do you believe he has a rational as well as a factual understanding of the charges against him? Do you believe he's currently competent and was legally sane at the time of the offense? Mr. Espinoza, has anyone threatened you, coerced you, or placed you in fear to get you to enter this plea?
No.
Anyone promised you anything other than the plea?
No.
Are you satisfied with the way you've been represented? Are you a U.S. citizen?
Yes.
Court will find that defendant has knowingly and voluntarily waived his right to jury trial. Did you review the plea bargain page with your attorney? Did you understand it?
Yes, sir.
According to the plea, punishment is to be assessed at 1 year in the state jail facility. There's $1,000 fine, no applications. This will run concurrent with 2022 CR 5282W. And has that case been taken care of?
It has, Judge.
All right. Did you understand that to be the plea?
Yes, Your Honor.
Defense is at the plea?
It is. Judge.
State is at the plea?
Yes, Judge.
Did you review the waiver of appeal paragraph with your attorney? Did you understand it and sign it in both places?
Yes, sir.
Did you understand by signing that you're waiving your right to appeal? The only items that can be appealed are written pretrial motions that have been filed, heard, and ruled upon by the court. Did you understand?
Yes, sir.
Counsel, have there been any such motions?
No, Your Honor.
Then to the offense as charged, how do you plead? Guilty, not guilty, or no contest?
Yes.
State any evidence.
Be contained in exhibit 1 in attachment, Judge.
No objection.
All right, state to be excused. Did you review the waiver and stipulations of testimony and stipulations with your attorney? Did you understand it? Did you sign it in all the appropriate places?
Sure.
Again, did you understand you have a right to jury trial, a right for you or your attorney to cross-examine and confront any witnesses the state would call in the right to remain silent?
Yes.
Did you understand that today the state will be presenting evidence in the form of witnesses' statements and police reports, but most importantly, there'll be no live testimony? Did you understand?
Yes.
Court will find that defendant has knowingly and voluntarily waived and consented to stipulation of testimony and stipulations. Court will accept into evidence states exhibits 1 and attachments and review the same. All right, after reviewing states exhibits 1 and attachments, the court will find there is sufficient evidence to find you guilty, and the court will find you guilty. Are you proceeding with sentencing?
Yes, Judge, we would like to.
Anything you wish to say on behalf of your client?
That's the plea bargain agreement that we worked out on the state.
All right, is there any restitution for the ankle monitor?
They did not ask for any restitution. Also, they would actually give them credit for time served.
All right, state any restitution with regards to the electronic monitor? All right, the court will find you guilty, sentence you to $1,000 fine, time and money to run concurrent. There's to be 1 year in the state jail facility. Credit for any time served. This is run concurrent with 2022 CR 5282W. Did you review the document entitled Trial Court Certification of Defendant's Rights to Appeal with your attorney? Did you understand it and sign it?
Yes, sir.
Because this is a plea bargain agreement, because I followed your plea bargain agreement, because you waived your right to appeal, you do not have the court's permission to appeal. Because this is a felony conviction, you're not allowed to own or possess any weapons or ammunition. If you have a question over what a weapon or ammunition is, you'll need to speak to an attorney. Do you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, good luck to you.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Thanks, Judge.
Thank you.
Judge Bamford?
Yes, I'm gonna need some more time on yours.
Okay, I'm gonna run to the 399.
All
I just
right.
wanted to come check in.
Sure. Who's here on Joe Luis Kantu? All right, if you'll come down. And probation, this is an application. Court is calling 2025 CR 0000107 State versus Joe Kantu. Can I have parties announced for the record for the state?
Jason Garahan, Your Honor.
Defense,
Warren Wolf for Mr. Cantu.
and are you Mr. Kantu?
Yes, ma'am.
Counsel, have you received all discovery? Did you review it with your client?
Yes.
Court will find that the state is in compliance with discovery. Mr. Cantu, did you review the document entitled Application for Community Supervision with your attorney? Did you understand it?
Yes, ma'am, I do.
Did you review the document entitled True Bill of Indictment with your attorney? Did you understand it?
Yes, ma'am, I do.
Counsel, do you waive the reading of the indictment?
Yes, Your Honor.
State, are you proceeding on the indictment as presented?
We are, Your Honor.
Mr. Cantu, did you review the document entitled Court Admonishments with your attorney? Did you understand it?
Yes, ma'am, I do.
And did you sign it in all the appropriate places? You're charged with arson of a habitation or a place of worship. That's a first-degree felony. The range of punishment is anywhere from 5 to 99 years or life in prison and up to a $10,000 fine. Did you understand?
I do.
If you have a plea bargain agreement with the state, the court does not have to follow your plea bargain agreement, counsel. If for any reason the court does not follow your plea and gives you more than you bargained for, the fact that you entered a plea will not be used against you, and you will be allowed to withdraw your plea. Did you understand?
I have.
You have a right to jury trial, a right for you or your attorney to cross-examine and confront any witnesses the state would call, and the right to remain silent. Did you understand by entering this plea, you were giving up those rights?
I do.
And did you intend to give up those rights and enter into a plea in this case?
I do.
Counsel, has your client been able to provide you with any defenses?
He has, Judge.
Do you believe he has a rational as well as a factual understanding of the charges against him?
Yes.
Do you believe he's currently competent and was legally sane at the time of the offense?
Yes.
Mr. Cantu, has anyone threatened you, coerced you, or placed you in fear to get you to enter this plea?
No, ma'am.
Anyone promised you anything other than the plea?
No, ma'am.
Are you satisfied with the way you've been represented?
Yes, ma'am.
Are you a U.S. citizen?
I am.
Court will find that defendant has knowingly and voluntarily waived his right to jury trial. Did you review the plea bargain page with your attorney? Did you understand it?
I do.
According to the plea bargaining agreement, punishment is to be assessed at 8 years in the prison. There's a $2,000 fine. State recommends community supervision. There's to be restitution, if any, to Diane Ellison. Did you understand that to be the plea?
Yes, ma'am.
Defense is at the plea?
It is.
State is at the plea?
It is, Your Honor.
Did you review the waiver of appeal paragraph with your attorney? Did you understand it and sign it in both places?
I did.
Did you understand by signing that you're waiving your right to appeal? The only items that can be appealed are written pretrial motions that have been filed, heard, and ruled upon by the court. Did you understand?
Yes, ma'am, I understand.
Counsel, are there any such motions?
No.
Outside the agreement, the state is requesting that your community supervision be for a term of 8 years. There'll be a TAP evaluation, 200 hours of community service restitution, no harmful or injurious contact with Diane Ellison, and mental health evaluation. Did you understand those were recommendations from the state and the court does not have to follow those recommendations?
Yes, ma'am, I do.
Then to the offenses charged, how do you plead? Guilty, not guilty, or no contest?
Do you know contest, miss?
State any evidence.
Yes, Your Honor. State exhibit number 1 with all of its attachments.
No objection.
All right, and state, have you contacted the complainant?
The complainant is actually in the courtroom today, Your Honor. It's his mother.
All right.
Diane Ellis.
All right, thank you. And state, you may be excused.
Thank you, Judge.
Did you review the document entitled Waiver and Consent to Stipulation of Testimony and Stipulations with your attorney? Did you understand it?
The paper with the police report. Yes, ma'am.
And state, you're offering the stipulations, correct?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, Your Honor. State exhibit number 1 with this attachment.
And did you understand, again, you have a right to jury trial, a right for you or your attorney to cross-examine and confront any witnesses the state would call in the right to remain silent?
Yes, ma'am, I understand.
Did you understand that today the state will be presenting evidence in the form of witnesses' statements and police reports, but most importantly, there'll be no live testimony? Did you understand?
I understand as well.
Court will find that defendant has knowingly and voluntarily waived and consented to stipulation of testimony and stipulations. Court will accept into evidence states exhibits 1 and attachments and review the same. All right, after reviewing state's exhibits 1 and attachments, the court will find there is sufficient evidence to find you guilty, and the court will find you guilty. Are you proceeding with sentencing?
Judge, there's a request for a TAP evaluation. I don't know if you wanted to have that.
All right. So do you wish to proceed with sentencing?
We can.
All right. Anything you wish to say on behalf of your client?
Yes, Mr. Cantu has some severe mental health issues.
Okay.
Bipolar, schizophrenic. He's in the process of applying for SS benefits. It's unfortunate, the timing of all of this, because his mom, she's the lady with the mask on.
Okay. All right.
She
Thank you.
was dealing with her husband's illness, and he passed away recently.
Okay.
So she was dealing with that, and she couldn't help, and her son wasn't there to be there for her during that time, during the funeral. It really weighed on the family. There were some other cases that were also filed, but those have all been disposed of in other courts. So there's nothing other than this case that's pending. All those other cases were dismissed. Affidavits of non-prosecution were filed by mom.
May I say something?
Just wait.
Sure.
Just wait. Let me finish.
Yes.
So I was able to get some of the paperwork from his mom showing the medications that he had been prescribed, and he was off those meds at the time that all of this happening. Our hope, and I wanted to thank the prosecutor, took all of that into consideration, and that's the reason he added those recommendations of mental health evaluation, and it's our hope that he be placed under the McMyoff unit to make sure that he's getting medication. He is indigent, I'm a court appointed, to make sure that he's getting assistance to get the medications that he needs. His mother is here in his support. She'll make sure that he gets to whatever appointments that he has to get to. I know there's an issue of community service hours. There's a fine so that is recommended. As I said, I'm court appointed. I'm concerned about paying for whatever medications that he needs. Hopefully he'll get it on Social Security, but I know that's a hard road, and there's a lot of delays with that. So to take that the financial constraints into consideration.
All right. There was something you wanted to say?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes.
Since I was 12, I've been helping take care of my parents, and with my dad passing, given the circumstance, I didn't get to say goodbye. And I don't want to make the same mistake when my mother, her passed away, and because of my legal issues, me being incarcerated and not being able to say my final farewells, or at least given the chance to take care of her, as I did with my dad in this last years of his life. And I don't want to make the same mistake with my mom.
Okay, let me ask you this. When all of this happened, was your dad alive?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. All right, this is what the court is going to do. The court is going to find you guilty. There's a $2,000 fine that will be probated.
Thank you.
8 years in the prison, suspended and probated for 8 years. Restitution, if any, to Diane Ellison. There's to be no in-person contact with Diane Ellison. 200 hours of community service restitution.
Just no in-person or no harm.
No in-person contact. Once he is stabilized and I deem he is stabilized, then he can have contact. I may change it, but for now, there's to be no in-person contact. So you can speak to her on the phone. You all can have video conferences. You understand?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, 200 hours community service restitution. The court is going to order anger management. Once he completes anger management, the community service hours will be deemed satisfied.
Judge, he did take a course in jail.
I completed the anger management course before.
All right, you have to tender that to probation, and then I'll make a decision on whether or not I'll find that as satisfied.
Understood.
There's to be proof of employment at a SSI within 45 days. There's to be no employment as a home healthcare provider or with minors.
Yes, ma'am.
There's to be MyOff eval in custody. Regular reporting by Zoom or in person.
Yes, ma'am.
Regular random UAs.
Yes, ma'am.
There's to be a TAP evaluation in custody. There's to be no contact with minors. And again, that will change once you're stabilized and I deem that you're doing well, okay?
Yes, ma'am.
And there's going to be a referral to mental health court. State.
Yes, Judge.
On this case, if mental health court accepts him, are you open to doing a motion for new trial? Because they won't accept if the person has been found guilty.
I'd have to take that advisement, Judge. I mean, he has sort of a little bit of a record, so we're just, that's just concerning. But I mean, we would take it under. some
All
type of
right,
advisement.
so what we'll do is we'll do a referral to mental health court, and then if they accept him, then you all can make that decision at that time.
Okay.
So I'll do a referral to mental health court. Mental health court will be able to have a more intensive supervision of you and have more contact with you.
Understood.
I'm limited in the resources that I have,
Yes, ma'am.
but the only way you're allowed in mental health court is if you don't have this as a conviction
Understood.
or on probation for it. They do, they will take you on, and then if you complete everything, it's their form of a pretrial diversion.
May I ask a question, miss?
Sure.
You said no contact with minors. I help take care of my nieces and nephews, and I mentor to them, and I read them the Bible and teach them about church and things like that.
Yeah, that's not gonna happen.
So I'm gonna have to wait until you
Yes.
deem otherwise.
Yes.
Understood.
All right. Probation, is there anything else that's needed? Is there any, field visits? One time per month until further notice. All right, is there anything else you need from the court to be successful?
I think you did pretty good, miss.
All
Thank
right,
you.
so in this court, to be successful, communication is key.
Yes, ma'am.
So if you're having an issue, come to me, let me know if probation is not addressing it, okay?
Okay.
I want you to be successful at this. They want you to be successful.
Me too.
All right. All right, good luck to you. I'm sorry, did you review the trial court certification of defendant's rights to appeal with your attorney?
Yes, ma'am.
Did you understand it and sign it?
I do.
All right, because this is a plea bargaining agreement, because I followed your plea bargaining agreement, and because you waived your right to appeal, you do not have the court's permission to appeal. Because this is a felony conviction, you're not allowed to own or possess any weapons or ammunition. If you have a question over what a weapon or ammunition is, you'll need to speak to an attorney. Do you understand?
Understood.
All right, good luck to you, okay?
Yes, ma'am.
If you
Thank
need
you.
anything, I'm serious, let your probation officer know.
Yes,
If you
ma'am.
feel as though they're not addressing the issue, you can always come back here, okay?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, good luck to you.
Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you.
All right, Gabriel Medine, Gabriella Medine.
Present, Judge.
All right, and she'll come down. Yes. All right, I'll see if I have that. All right, thanks. All right, so where are we on discovery?
Judge, this is our first setting. I would just like a 30-day. We have most of the discovery, so she can come in and look at it with me.
Okay.
I've been conferring with Megan, and that'll give us an opportunity to decide what we're gonna do.
All right, Ms. Ferguson, can I have a 30-day reset on Medine for discovery?
Very good pronouncement.
Huh? March 31st. I thought you said March 1st. Okay.
I'm conferring on my other case from yesterday.
All right, thank you. And what page is she on, Norma? All right, you need to make sure you're on time next time. You understand?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, thank you for dressing appropriate for court. Have a seat, and they will give you a reset form.
Thank you, Judge.
Joe Anthony Martinez. Who's the attorney for Joe Anthony Martinez? Oh, I'm sorry, John Anthony Martinez.
My name is Ian. I'm covering for the attorney that also the attorney of record for Sarah.
Welcome, welcome to the 187th.
Thank you, Judge.
One 87.
Mr. Leo Martinez has a contested matter that he could not be here for, so I'm covering for him. My understanding that it's his first setting and that Leo has some of the discovery he's still taking a chance to review and make sure that he has the rest of it. And he's asking for a 30-day reset.
All right, State, were you able to tender an offer?
Judge, we needed a setting to get with our complainant before tendering an offer.
All right, Ms. Ferguson. Can you recall this for 30 days for discovery and for State to tender an offer? All right, April 1st. And what page is he on? All right, let me see. All right, once you sign the reset form, you will be excused. Just have a seat and they'll get the reset form to you.
Thank you, Judge.
All right, thank you.
Did you see the article in Randall?
I'm sorry, what?
The article in Randall?
No, I didn't. Okay, I'll have to look at it.
I was shocked. I didn't expect that. But I didn't know anything about the case at all. I don't know if you heard stuff about it.
Okay, I'll have to talk to you about that. Javier Herrera. Well, I know he was on time for court because he's in custody. Everybody else? All righty, so we're currently in jury trial, so I can't take this up for trial.
But he is, on behalf of Mr. Herrera, he's voiced to me his desire to have a trial as quickly as possible. So is that correct, Mr. Herrera?
That is correct.
Okay. So, State, would you all be ready for trial on this next week?
Your Honor, our complainant is at the moment 38 weeks pregnant.
Okay.
And so we would be asking for a little bit more time. Additionally, one of our other witnesses, the outcry witness, has the flu and is currently sick with that. So we just found all of that out yesterday. We discussed it with Mr. Bonk. So the state would be asking for a little bit more time than next week.
All right. You have any objection to an oral motion for continuance?
On behalf of my client, yes.
All right.
He's ready to proceed, so.
All right, so you're gonna have to file a motion for continuance. Are you available to come back tomorrow?
Yes, Judge.
All right, so we're gonna recall this for tomorrow
Thank you, Your Honor.
and we'll do a motion, well, Thursday.
Whatever, I'm ready for whenever you tell us to be back, we'll be here.
All right, recall it for Thursday and you'll have to file a motion for continuance and then the court will hear it and make a ruling.
Yes, Judge.
Yes, Your Honor. Should we be expected to proceed on Thursday with trial if it's
No.
granted? Okay.
No.
I wanted to know just for
All
witness
right.
purposes. Thank you.
And the reason why I say that is because the 27th council, as you know, is a big docket for us. So if I don't grant it, you'll need to be ready next week.
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, so this will come back on the 27th. And State, if you'll just email Mr. Bonk your motion for continuance.
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, thank you.
We'll be back Thursday.
All right, thank you.
Thank you. Judge.
You're welcome.
I'll see you Thursday. All right, thank you, sir.
Thank you. Yes.
Move over.
Yes. Oh, I don't know if we're allowed to, we're not allowed to do that. It has to be a prosecutor. No, they didn't. You can email Barbara.
Let me call her.
Okay. Yeah, Mr. Bonk, if you could please remain.
Yes, sir.
All right, thank you. And Deputy Laura, which page is Herrera on? Thank you. Who's here on Noel Balderas? Oh, how's it going?
Hey, Judge, I had initially turned it in, saying that we were ready, but my client has since asked if we could reset this.
No. All right, court is calling 2017 CR 1914W State versus Noel Martinez Balderas. Can I have parties announced for the record for the state?
Megan Galloway for the state.
Defense. And are you Mr. Balderas? All right, did you have a chance to review the documents entitled Motion to Revoke Community Supervision, First Amendment Motion to Enter Adjudication of Guilt and Revoke Community Supervision, and State's Motion to Supplement Pending Motion to Revoke Probation? Did you review those documents with your attorney and did you understand them? Are you the same Noel Martinez Balderas who was placed on deferred adjudication in 2017 CR 19? Just one moment, off the record. Was this ruled on by probation? He's still on deferred adjudication, correct?
Before, I think this is adjudicated November of 22.
Okay. All right, then I'm missing. You all are correct. All right, then the First Amendment motion to enter adjudication of guilt that has previously been ruled upon. So did you review the motion to revoke community supervision and state's motion to supplement pending motion to revoke probation with your attorney, and did you understand it? Are you the same Noel Martinez Balderas who's placed on community supervision in 2017 CR 1914W for the offense of hindering apprehension felon on November 18, 2022 for a term of 4 years? Is that you? All right, state.
Violation of condition number 4 in Bexar County, Texas. The defendant Noel Martinez Balderas did then and there fail to report to the supervision officer as directed for the month of March, April, May, June, July, August, September, October, November, and December of 2023 in violation of condition number 4.
How do you plead to that? True or not true? State.
Violation of condition number 4 in Bexar County, Texas. The defendant Noel Martinez Balderas did then and there fail to report to the supervision officer as directed for the months of January, February, March, April, May, June, July, August, September, October, November, and December of 2024 in violation of condition number 4.
How do you plead to that? You're gonna need to speak up.
True.
Thank you.
We'll waive the ban of their waivers.
Any objections to the state's waivers?
No.
Did you understand by pleading true to violations 4 and 4, the court could find it true, grant the motion, and sentence you up to 4 years in the prison? Knowing that, do you still wish to plead true to violations of conditions 4 and 4? Court will find violation of condition 4 and 4 true. Is there a proposed agreement?
There is not, Judge. The state is asking that you revoke the defendant's community supervision and sentence him to 4 years and TCJ based upon the evidence that he has absconded from the jurisdiction of the court since 2023.
All right, in defense, what are you requesting?
Judge, in concurrence with my client, he's asking the court to consider some other sanction, and reinstated my probation. Conferred with him. I think I've asked him all the questions that I anticipate the court would ask him. What happened at the time? What you've been doing? Why? He has indicated that at the time, he was not in a financially stable position that help him with the conditions that were set by the court. As far as location, Judge, I think he lived on the west side. Probation was sending him, I think, far north side. He's indicated that it was difficult. He didn't have any family support at the time. He didn't have any help with transportation. And at that time, he wasn't working. Since then, Judge, he has indicated that at least for the last 2 years, I mean, he hasn't picked up any new cases. The last 2 years, he has had employment. Since then, I think at the time he was living with his sister. He now has an apartment. He has indicated that he is in a much, much better place that he's ever been in his life. He's much more stable. He has a daughter. He's paying child support. He has this employment that is willing to wait for him. They understand that he's in custody, but he has this job waiting for him. He has his apartment waiting for him. Obviously, that's going to be at a loss. And so he is asking for monitoring or any other type of conditions that the court deems appropriate so that he can get back to work and maintain what he has built in this short time. I know that I anticipate you have questions, Judge, and I think he's ready. I don't think he has a good excuse, but he is asking the court for a little bit of mercy. I think probation has a different recommendation. I think it was ISF. I have explained what that is. I think his concern is what that will do to him in the future. I mean, obviously, he's going back to zero. He gets the Judge.
All right. Now, I'm going to ask you some questions, but before I ask you some questions, I want you to know where I'm coming from. Because I always think it's best to know where people are coming from, that people are not just being mean. Because I don't like people to be mean just for the sake of being mean, right? All right, you were previously placed on deferred adjudication in this court. And do you know why I motioned to revoke? Let me have you raise your right hand. Do you solemnly swear or affirm the testimony you yield will be the truth and nothing but the truth, so help you God? All right, you can lower your hand. State your name for the record.
Noel Balderas.
All right, so you were previously in this court for deferred adjudication for this case. Why was a motion to revoke filed against you for that? Do you remember why?
No reporting.
Yes. And so on that one, you didn't report for March and April in 2018. And I do remember cases that come before me. I know that they give you a SID number at the jail. People are moving to seeing people as numbers, but I don't see anybody as a number that comes before me. And what I can tell you is I remember you. And what I did was I continued you because you said you had your life together and you were going to do this and you were doing this. And I know that everybody who comes through before me, I always tell you, if you have an issue, let the court know. If there's a financial issue, I realize people have financial issues. People think that attorneys and judges, all of them are independently wealthy. And I will tell you, we are not. And I know the struggle is real financially. I've been through the struggle is real financially. Because I will tell you, there was a point in time, I was just sleeping on a borrowed couch. I had an apartment, but my friends from law school said, "Hey, Stephanie, we have this sleeper sofa. Do you want it?" I'm like, "Yes, I do." And my friends carried that sleeper sofa over. I pulled it out one time and slept on it one time as it was meant to be slept on. Didn't do it again because that bar was right in my back. So I just slept on a sofa till I could afford to do better. So I tell you that story to let you know I understand about finances, right? I understand that there are places that the VIA bus doesn't go because I used to ride the VIA bus. But you just ignored your probation, and I can't allow that. So you were here previously before for not reporting for 2 months, and now you've been missing for the equivalent of 2 years. Tell me, how did you end up being picked up? Because that warrant has been out there for you.
What's traffic stop?
Traffic stop for what? What did they say you were doing?
So I was in backseat, but it was my sister, she was driving and her sticker had expiration.
Yeah. So I'm not going to continue you. I don't think you're a good candidate for probation. I know you mean well, and I know, you say you have your life together now, but I mean, you've been missing for 2 years and you previously have been missing. So I understand, and I understand with your counsel saying that you have your apartment, you're getting your life together, but sometimes you have consequences. You got to answer for them. Okay. All right. So do you have proof that he has his life together?
Thank you, sir.
Just testimony, Judge, from him.
Okay. All right. This is what the court is going to do. The court is finding violations 4 and 4 true. The court is going to sentence you to 3 years in the prison, give you credit for any time served. Did you review the document entitled Trial Court Certification of Defendant's Rights to Appeal with your attorney? Did you understand it and sign it? I'm sorry?
He did not sign it, Judge.
All right. All right. You're not going to sign it?
No, I will. I thought I
Okay.
would sign it afterwards.
Sure. All right. If you'll have him sign that, please.
Thank you.
All right. So you have a limited right to appeal. The right to appeal is as it relates to the allegations in the motion, not the fact that you are on probation. Because this is a felony conviction, you're not allowed to own or possess any weapons or ammunition. If you have a question over what a weapon or ammunition is, you'll need to speak to an attorney. Do you understand? All right, we can go off the record. So I will tell you this, when you're released, if you can't find a place to go, if you're homeless because things have changed since you've been in custody, if I'm still here, you can come back here. I'll pick up the phone and find you a place. Okay? All right. Good luck to you. Okay?
Thank you, ma'am.
You're welcome. Yes.
I'll let you know I'm here when you're ready.
Okay, sure. All right. Thank you. Vencio Gonzalez. Are you okay?
I am.
I mean, I don't want to be a witness called on a civil case because they tend to last forever.
They do.
But then I don't know if we need a vacation, we can be called over as witnesses. All right, so where are we on this case?
Judge, it looks like Mr. Hernandez is having some trouble with the, I don't know, e-discovery, maybe not him, I'm sorry, e-discovery is giving him trouble
Okay.
with the JNs. I did look on our Veripic, we have everything on there that I'm aware of, on the right JN number. And I asked if he wanted to bring a hard drive or a thumb drive. And then I don't know if there's anything else that you might address.
Yes, it is also a potential conflict that I need to look into. I was reading the file today and there's a connected case that's, I guess, stems from the same transaction, Judge. And I need to just investigate that to make sure that I don't have a conflict.
All right, Norma. Recall this for March 17th. And that's to address the conflict. And if there's no conflict, then you could bring the thumb drive or whatever with you at that time. All right. Once he signs the reset form, you're excused.
Thank you.
Hey, are you a Chicago Bulls fan?
No, ma'am, it was just cold this morning.
Oh, well, you take that off. How dare you?
I will.
They say that if you look at that bull
Upside down.
upside down, yeah, it's a robot. Okay. Okay. And Norma, the other person, you say it's I have a Desiree Gutierrez file up here. No, it's not up here. So I think they took it to the back. The Joe Jimenez or Joe? Yeah, it's not up here. So I think they took it back yesterday. Everyone, we're recessing at noon. And if your case is not taken care of, you're going to be recalled for Thursday. Carlos Ruiz.
Ready, Judge?
Is there an application in this case?
There is none.
All right, court is calling 2025 CR 001293 State versus Carlos Ruiz. Could I have parties announced for the record for the state?
Jason Garahan, Your Honor.
Defense?
Warren Wolf for Mr. Ruiz.
And are you Mr. Ruiz?
Yes, ma'am.
Counsel, have you received all discovery and did you review it with your client?
Yes.
Court will find that the state is in compliance with discovery. Mr. Ruiz, did you review the document entitled True Bill of Indictment with your attorney? Did you understand it?
Yes.
Counsel, do you waive the reading of the indictment?
Yes.
State, are you proceeding on the indictment as presented?
No, Your Honor, we are waiving the enhancement paragraphs and proceeding on the state trial.
All right, let's go off the record for a moment.
Yes,
All
we
right,
are
thank
not
you.
waiving the enhancements, Judge.
All right, so you're proceeding on the indictment as presented?
Yes, we are.
All right, Mr. Ruiz, did you?
Business today.
Oh, yeah. Mr. Ruiz, did you review the document entitled Court Admonishments with your attorney? Did you understand it and sign it in all the appropriate places?
Yes, ma'am.
Did you understand that you're charged with the offense of possession of a controlled substance, penalty group 1, less than 1 gram? If the state proves up the enhancement beyond a reasonable doubt, then your range of punishment will be anywhere from 2 to 20 years in prison and up to a $10,000 fine. Did you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
If you have a plea bargain agreement with the state, the court does not have to follow your plea. If for any reason the court does not follow your plea and gives you more than you bargained for, the fact that you entered a plea will not be used against you and you will be allowed to withdraw your plea. Did you understand?
Yes.
You have a right to jury trial, a right for you or your attorney to cross-examine and confront any witnesses the state would call, and the right to remain silent. Did you understand by entering this plea, you were giving up those rights?
Yes.
And did you intend to give up those rights and enter into a plea in this case?
Yes.
Counsel, has your client been able to provide you with any defenses?
He has.
Do you believe he has a rational as well as a factual understanding of the charges against him?
Yes, Your Honor.
Do you believe he's currently competent and was legally sane at the time of the offense?
Yes, Your Honor.
Mr. Ruiz, has anyone threatened you, coerced you, and placed you in fear to get you to enter this plea?
No, ma'am.
Anyone promised you anything other than the plea?
No, ma'am.
Are you satisfied with the way you've been represented?
Yes.
Are you a U.S. citizen? Court will find that defendant has knowingly and voluntarily waived his right to jury trial. Did you review the plea bargain page with your attorney? Did you understand it?
Yes.
According to the plea, punishment is assessed at 3 years in the prison. You agree that you've been convicted of 1 or more felonies for purposes of enhancement. There's a $2,000 fine. There's no applications. Cases to be taken in consideration are 2025 CR 001291 and 2025 CR 000354. Did you understand that to be your plea?
Yes.
Defense, is that the plea?
It is, Judge.
State, is that the plea?
It is, Your Honor.
Did you review the waiver of appeal paragraph with your attorney? Did you understand it? And did you sign it in both places?
Yes.
Did you understand by signing that you're waiving your right to appeal? The only items that can be appealed are written pretrial motions that have been filed, heard, and ruled upon by the court. Did you understand?
Yes.
Counsel, have there been any such motions?
No, Your Honor.
I'm sorry, did I give you one of the, yes, if I could have that back, please. I think I gave you the docket sheet for that. Thank you. Then to the offense, how do you plead? Guilty, not guilty, or no contest?
Guilty.
And to both enhancement paragraphs, how do you plead? True or not true?
True.
State any evidence.
Yes, Your Honor, state exhibit number one with all this attached.
No objection.
All right, state you may be excused. Did you review the document entitled waiver and stipulations with your attorney? Did you understand it and sign it in all the appropriate places? Again, did you understand you have a right to jury trial, a right for you or your attorney to cross-examine and confront any witnesses the state would call and the right to remain silent? Did you understand that today the state will be presenting evidence in the form of witnesses' statements and police reports, but most importantly, there'll be no live testimony? Did you understand?
Yes.
Court will find that defendant has knowingly and voluntarily waived and consented to stipulation of testimony and stipulations. Court will accept into evidence states exhibits 1 and attachments, and the court will review the same. After reviewing states exhibits 1 and attachments, the court will find there is sufficient evidence to find you guilty, and the court will find you guilty. The court will find both enhancements true based upon your plea are true and based upon states exhibits 1 and attachments. Are you proceeding with sentencing?
Yes, ma'am.
Anything you wish to say on behalf of your client?
Judge, it's a unfortunate situation. Mr. Ruiz has been really staying out of trouble. One of the enhancements goes back, I think, to the turn of the century, around 2000. But anyhow, it is what it is. He takes responsibility for what happened. I appreciate the state's resolution of this and ask that you follow the legal.
All right, the court will follow your agreement. The court will sentence you to 3 years in the prison, give you credit for any time served. There's a $2,000 fine, time and money to run concurrent. Take in consideration 2025 CR 001291, 2025 CR 000354, and I'll request the therapeutic community. Did you review the document entitled Trial Court Certification of Defendant's Rights to Appeal with your attorney? Did you understand it and did you sign it?
Yes, ma'am.
Because this is a plea bargain agreement, because I followed your plea bargain agreement, and because you waive your right to appeal, you do not have the court's permission to appeal. Because this is a felony conviction, you're not allowed to own or possess any weapons or ammunition. If you have a question over what a weapon or ammunition is, you'll need to speak to an attorney. Do you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, we can go off the record. Here's the thing. You are getting older, and who knows what people put in their drugs, right? I don't want you to be that person that I end up seeing on the news, your body has been identified. So you're gonna have to get a control of your addictions. I'm recommending therapeutic community for you. I have no jurisdiction to make them place you in that program. However, they'll see in the judgment that I'm requesting that for you. It doesn't increase the time that you're in custody. It's just to help you with regards to your addictions. When you're released from prison, if you can't find a place to go, if you can't find a place for housing, if you can't find a place to help you with your drug issues, if I'm still here, you can come back here and I'll pick up the phone and call somebody to help you, okay? All right, good luck to you, all right?
Thank you.
All right, you're welcome.
Thank you very much, Judge. Excuse me.
Yes. Yes.
Clients on bond in the gallery.
All right, could I see the file on Tina? Is that on the docket today? It's TENA. Tina? Yes. Hello, Mr. Tina.
How you doing?
I'm doing okay. What page is he on? Yes.
he's on bond.
All right, thank you. All right, Mr. Tina, the state is saying that they're dismissing your case. They say it's insufficient evidence. So here's the thing. Don't go out getting excited and partying, you know? And remember what I say, I'm gonna have to change my time. I always say nothing good happens after midnight, but honestly, nothing good happens after 10,
I understand.
you know? All right, Bashan.
I stayed for whatever since.
Bashan, you know what's so funny? The last time I went to a club, this is when I knew I was never really a clubber anyway, but the last time I went to a club, all right, first of all, we're leaving at 10. Why are we leaving at 10, people? And then the next thing I know, I'm sitting in a place, I'm like, is there a speaker in my ear? It is just too loud in here. I'm like, next time I'm gonna have to prepare by having some, earplugs. They're trying to damage the hearing I have left. But I always say, and I was always told, nothing good happens after midnight. And if you're still awake, nothing good is happening. There may be some consequences that you're not expecting if you're still up, or either you have insomnia.
I understand.
So thank you for being on time and dressing appropriately for court. Good luck to you, okay?
Thank you, Judge.
Okay, Norma, that just told me that Bashan is out at 10 p.m. Oh, here we go. What's down Alexander Rangel? Why do I have this file? Desiree Gutierrez. Hi, I'm still calling. So on that one, we're gonna do, was she taken into custody today?
Well, yes, because she has a warrant, Judge.
All right, tell you what, I'm gonna figure it out at 1:30. They have me on hold. So they're not gonna take you back all the way to the jail, but we're gonna solve this problem today. So are you able to come back at 1:30?
Well, Judge, I had an appointment, but, would you consider,
I mean, you can appear by Zoom.
warrant and doing a summons for this Thursday, and then we can come back and finish it off on Thursday?
I don't really do summons because I've tried that before and things have not gone well when I do a summons. But if you want to appear by Zoom at 1:30, I will have to talk to somebody. And who knows, I may be able to talk to somebody over the lunch hour, but they just have me on hold.
If you're not able to,
And if you all want to, you all can call them. They have a hotline for attorneys.
we have a hotline. I've been trying to call.
No. If you call, you press 1, and after you press 1 is for English, because they say press 1 for English, 2 for Spanish, and then you press number 4. 4 is for attorneys or vendors, and then you press 4 again. So if you press 144, you'll get through.
Okay. They'll probably respond faster to you since you're a judge. But
Oh, no, just tell them the judge. Yeah, just tell them the judge said, this is the information I want. And if you get in touch with them, you can just hand me the phone and I'll take it up.
I'm here. I was
Yeah.
gonna keep trying to call them over lunch.
All right. So who's here on Alexander Rangel? All right. Anybody else ready? All right, I have Maria Herrera. Howdy.
Prosecutor is asking for a 2-week recess so they can give the complainant time to get back with their request, see what he wants to do.
All right, who do you need to get in touch with?
The complainant Eduardo Giovanni.
All right,
Hey.
Norma, can I have a 2-week reset on Maria Herrera, please? All right, March 18th.
Where did you get that?
Where did I get what?
Whatever this computer's on. That's Stan.
Oh, it was gifted to me by one of the staff members.
That's really neat.
Oh,
All
it
right,
worked
March
beautifully. March 18th.
18th. Okay.
All right, thank you.
Thank you.
Okay. All right, so if you all can confer over a jury trial date, because that's what it's being brought back, is that correct? All right, confer over jury trial date, and Norma, if you'll write that date down and give me the cause number and we'll find the file. Yes.
Question about my client or an MTR who has some new faces, Daniel Martinez, if we can get him evaluated for the drug court program. They're recommending DDRF. The problem is there's a 6-month wait to get it.
Oh, I'll hear, is this for a motion to revoke?
It's an MTR plus he has two new cases.
All right, so what I can tell you is I don't wait for the evaluations. And I'm sorry, I'm listening, but I'm doing this as well. I don't wait for the evaluations.
Okay.
Because if I decide to continue somebody, I'll order what I'll order. And
Okay.
then, you know, maybe it'll be felony drug court, maybe it'll be revocation, I don't know.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, I'll talk to him.
All right, thank you. Luis Alberto DeLeon. Who's the attorney for Luis Alberto DeLeon?
Yes, and we went over to federal court. I think he was sending Mr. Wolf, but
Okay.
he is not here.
All right, that'll be. All right, we'll see. Have a seat. Jose Castellon. I'm sorry, Jose Castillo. I've just been mispronouncing names all over the place today. Who's the attorney for Jose Samuel Castillo?
Monica Guerrero, Joseph Jason standing in.
Come
Can you
down.
please speak Spanish, Your Honor? And if I could just give you an update.
Yes, have a seat, sir.
We're still negotiating for a plea offer. We haven't had a plea offer yet.
Mhm.
And we had requested, and we re-requested a bail advisal. However, Monica has already admonished him on immigration consequences. He would be willing to take a plea once we get a plea. And I'm wondering if we can come back maybe tomorrow,
I can put you down for Thursday.
Thursday would be perfect.
Yes.
I'm just trying to get his criminal history. This is taking longer than expected.
All right. Ms. Ferguson, he's gonna come back on Thursday, the 27th. It's Jose Castillo. Mr. Castillo, you're gonna come back on Thursday. You'll be back on Thursday. Thank you. I'm trying to find him now. Oh, he's on page 2. Yes. Yes.
Judge, I prefer the state for giving me a date of May 6th.
May 6th. And do you have your client's cause number by
I
chance?
sure do, Judge.
Mhm. All right, thank you, counsel.
Thank you, Judge.
May 6th.
There was a violation report that we brought him in sooner. He
Mhm.
was 17 years old and it's like a 2-year-old awaiting labs. And we agreed to, before the state indicts him, to
Mhm.
come back on March 20th. It
Okay.
should have been moved from today to March 20th, but we were heard last week on February 18th.
All right, what is your client's name?
Emmanuel Chavaria,
Do you have a cost number?
Nightmeg 743129. He has a second PF case. But that Nightmeg is the oldest one, and that's where before they had.
Yeah, it's supposed to come back on 20th. Yes, that's what I have in my,
For some reason, it was on the docket today.
okay, all right, thank you. All right, where is Robert Maurer? What is happening? What is happening with Timothy Zapata?
It's a plea, the paperwork's in, Judge.
All right, thank you.
Judge, I know you said Thursday to recall that. I'll give you a federal court Thursday. Megan's gonna be out.
Who is this?
On Daniel Martinez.
Okay.
Norma said Monday, Tuesday, or Thursday of next week.
What cause number do you have for him?
Oh, I'm sorry. Judge.
I don't see it on here.
It's not at the very top there.
Ah, okay.
Sorry.
Oh, no. You know, I need my glasses for distance, not for reading. So,
Have you seen what they're doing on these files now? Have you seen? This is the old print that we're all used to, right? We can see that. right?
yes.
Look what they're doing on all the new files.
Oh, oh my gosh.
Right.
That's
Who can see that?
a 3-year-old because their vision is perfect.
So frustrating.
Oh, Norma, I didn't put this down for a setting. Is this on the docket today? Yes, could I see the file on Daniel Martinez? All right. Okay, yeah, this was never called up. Was this previously called up for a setting? I don't think so. All right. This, I didn't call this up for a setting previously. Did I, Bashan? Oh. All right. Oh, yeah, okay, okay, I never gave it a setting before. People, stop gaslighting me.
Set as a setting, but there were some evaluations that we were trying to conduct before we actually heard the MTR judge.
Okay, I don't need the evaluations, but. All right, when are you asking for this to be set?
Tuesday, Judge.
All right. Norma, that will be March 4th.
Perfect. Thank you, Judge.
All right, so we'll be back on March 4th.
Okay, I appreciate it. Thank
You're
you.
welcome. People trying to treat me like Ingrid Bergman. I'm like, all right, Bashan, he'll be back on March 4th, and my understanding that's not a contested. Who's here on Raymond Garza?
Your Honor.
Court is calling 2024 CR 010923 State versus Raymond Garza. Can I have parties announced for the record for the state?
Rick Pena for the state of Texas.
Defense?
James Seeloff for the defense.
And are you Mr. Garza?
Yes, ma'am.
Counsel, have you received all discovery? Did you review it with your client?
Yes, I have.
Court will find the state is in compliance with discovery. Are there any applications?
No, Your Honor, it's an agreement for jail.
All right.
Penitentiary.
Did you review, sir, did you review the true bill of indictment with your attorney? Did you understand it?
Yes, ma'am, I did.
Counsel, do you waive the reading of the indictment?
We waive.
State, are you proceeding on the indictment as presented?
Yes, we are, Your Honor.
No objection.
Mr. Garza, did you review the court admonishments with your attorney? Did you understand it?
Yes, ma'am, I did.
Did you sign it in all the appropriate places?
Yes, ma'am, I did.
Did you understand you're charged with violation bond or protective order 2 or more times within a 12-month period? Is a 3rd-degree felony. Range of punishment is anywhere from 2 to 10 years in prison and up to a $10,000 fine. Did you understand?
No.
If you have a plea bargain agreement with the state, the court does not have to follow your plea. If for any reason the court does not follow your plea and gives you more than you bargained for, the fact that you entered a plea will not be used against you, and you will be allowed to withdraw your plea. Did you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
You have a right to jury trial, a right for you or your attorney to cross-examine and confront any witnesses the state would call, and the right to remain silent. Did you understand by entering this plea, you were giving up those rights?
Yes, ma'am.
And did you intend to give up those rights and enter into a plea in this case?
Yes, ma'am.
Counsel, has your client been able to provide you with any defenses?
Yes, he has.
Do you believe he has a rational as well as a factual understanding of the charges against him?
I believe he does.
Do you believe he's currently competent and was legally sane at the time of the offense?
I believe he is.
Mr. Garza, has anyone threatened you, coerced you, or place you in fear to get you to enter this plea?
No, ma'am.
Anyone promise you anything other than the plea?
No, ma'am.
Are you satisfied with the way you've been represented?
Yes, ma'am.
Are you a U.S. citizen?
Yes, ma'am.
Court will find that the defendant has knowingly and voluntarily waived his right to jury trial. Did you review the plea bargain page with your attorney? Did you understand it?
Yes, ma'am.
According to the plea, punishment is to be assessed at 3 years in the prison. There's a $1,500 fine. There's an affirmative finding of family violence. The state will take in consideration AL 216604, and there's to be no contact with Lupita Bazan, Bazan. Did you understand that to be the plea?
Yes, ma'am.
Defense, is that the plea?
That's our plea.
State, is that the plea?
It is, Your Honor.
Did you review the plea bargain page with your attorney? Did you understand it?
Yes, ma'am.
According to the plea, punishment is to be assessed at, oh, I'm so sorry. Did you review the waiver of appeal paragraph with your attorney? Did you understand it?
Yes, ma'am.
And did you sign it in both places?
Yes, ma'am, I did.
Did you understand by signing that you're waiving your right to appeal? The only items that can be appealed are written pretrial motions that have been filed, heard, and ruled upon by the court. Did you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
Counsel, are there been any such motions?
No, Your Honor.
Then to the offenses charged, how do you plead? Guilty,
Guilty.
not guilty, or no contest?
Guilty.
State any evidence?
State offer states exhibit 1 with all attachments, Your Honor.
No objection, Your Honor.
And state, have you had contact with the complainant?
We have not.
All right, you may be excused. Did you review the waiver and consent to stipulation of testimony and stipulations with your attorney? Did you understand it and sign it in all the appropriate places?
Yes.
Again, did you understand you have a right to jury trial, a right for you or your attorney to cross-examine and confront any witnesses the state would call in the right to remain silent?
Yes.
Did you understand that today the state will be presenting evidence in the form of witnesses' statements and police reports, but most importantly, there'll be no live testimony? Did you understand? Court will find that defendant has knowingly and voluntarily waived and consented to stipulation of testimony and stipulations. Court will accept into evidence states exhibits 1 and attachments, and the court will review the same. All right, after reviewing states exhibits 1 and attachments, the court will find there is sufficient evidence to find you guilty, and the court will find you guilty. Are we proceeding with sentencing?
Yes, Your Honor. We waive PSI.
All right, the court will sentence you to 3 years in the prison. There's a $1,500 fine. Time and money is to run concurrent. Taking consideration AL 216646. There's an affirmative finding of family violence. There's to be no contact with Lupita Bazan. And there is to be no, and that includes no contact with her work, with her house, with relatives, or anyone else. Do you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, did you review the document entitled Trial Court Certification of Defendant's Rights to Appeal with your attorney? Did you understand it and sign it? Because this is a plea bargain agreement, because I followed your plea bargain agreement, and because you waive your right to appeal, you do not have the court's permission to appeal. Because this is a felony conviction and an affirmative finding of family violence, you're not allowed to own or possess any weapons or ammunition. If you have a question over what a weapon or ammunition is, you'll need to speak to an attorney. Do you understand?
Sure.
All right, we can go off the record. Here's the thing. She doesn't want to be with you anymore. How old are you?
40.
All right, you're not a teenager. Romeo and Juliet did not end well for anyone. Let it go. She doesn't want you. Don't call her. Don't text her. Don't go by her house. Don't say I've changed. It's over. You understand?
Yeah.
All right. Well, you say, yeah, but you're here going to prison because you won't stop texting people. That's what you're going to prison for, not following rules and texting people. You understand?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. Good luck to you.
Thank you, Your Honor. May I be excused?
Yes.
Thank you. Good luck, man. Stay away from me.
All right. All right, court is calling 2024 CR 0129902 State versus Timothy Zapata.
We're ready, Judge.
Could our parties approach and announce for the record for the state
Jason Garrett, Your Honor.
defense?
Robert Mauer, Judge.
And are you Mr. Zapata? Counsel, you received all discovery. Did you review it with your client?
I did, Judge.
And counsel, do you waive your 10-day notice?
I did.
And Mr. Zapata, you understand your attorney has 10 days to prepare for trial? Do you have any objection to the waiver of the 10 days? All right, any applications in this case?
No, Judge.
All right, Mr. Zapata, did you review the document entitled True Bill of Indictment with your attorney? Did you understand it?
Yes, I did.
Counsel, do you waive the reading of the indictment?
We do, Judge.
State, are you proceeding on the indictment as presented?
Oh, Your Honor, this is the one that we are not proceeding as the indictment presents. So waiving count 2 and waiving the enhancement paragraph, proceeding on count 1 alone, Your Honor.
That's our understanding, Judge.
All right, Mr. Zapata, did you review the court admonishments with your attorney? Did you understand it?
Yes, I did, Your Honor.
And did you sign it in all the appropriate places?
Yes, I did, Your Honor.
All right, the state is proceeding on count 1. It's possession of a controlled substance
Sorry.
with intent to deliver, that's fine. 4,200 grams, that's a first-degree felony. Range of punishment is anywhere from 5 to 99 years or life in prison and up to a $10,000 fine. Did you understand?
Yes, Your Honor.
If you have a plea bargain agreement with the state, the court does not have to follow your plea. If for any reason the court does not follow your plea and gives you more than you bargained for, the fact that you entered a plea will not be used against you, and you will be allowed to withdraw your plea. Did you understand?
Speak louder.
Yes, Your Honor.
You have a right to jury trial, a right for you or your attorney to cross-examine and confront any witnesses the state would call, and the right to remain silent. Did you understand by entering this plea, you are giving up those rights?
Yes, Your Honor.
And did you intend to give up those rights and enter into a plea in this case?
Yes, Your Honor.
Counsel, has your client been able to provide you with any defenses?
Yes, Judge.
Do you believe he has a rational as well as a factual understanding of the charges against him?
He does.
Do you believe he's currently competent and was legally sane at the time of the offense?
Yes to both questions.
Mr. Zapata, has anyone threatened you, coerced you, or placed you in fear to get you to enter this plea?
No, Your Honor.
Anyone promised you anything other than the plea?
No, Your Honor.
Are you satisfied with the way you've been represented?
Yes, Your Honor.
Are you a U.S. citizen?
Yes, Your Honor.
Court will find that defendant has knowingly and voluntarily waived his right to jury trial. Did you review the plea bargain page with your attorney? Did you understand it?
Yes, Your Honor.
According to the plea, state is proceeding on count 1. Punishments be assessed at a cap of 12 years in the prison. There's a $2,000 fine, no applications. The state is taking in consideration 2024 CR 012900. Did you understand that to be the plea?
Yes, Your Honor.
Defense is at the plea?
Yes.
State is at the plea?
It is, Your Honor.
Did you review the waiver of appeal paragraph with your attorney? Did you understand it and sign it in both places?
Yes, Your Honor.
Did you understand by signing that you're waiving your right to appeal? The only items that can be appealed are written pretrial motions that have been filed, heard, and ruled upon by the court. Did you understand?
Yes, Your Honor.
Counsel, are there been any such motions?
No, Judge.
Then to count 1, how do you plead? Guilty, not guilty, or no contest?
Guilty.
State any evidence.
Yes, Your Honor. State exhibit number 1 with all this chat.
No objections.
Did you review the waiver and stipulations with your attorney? Did you understand it and sign it in all the appropriate places?
Yes, Your Honor.
Again, did you understand you have a right to jury trial, a right for you or your attorney to cross-examine and confront any witnesses the state would call, and the right to remain silent?
Yes, Your Honor.
Did you understand that today the state will be presenting evidence in the form of witnesses' statements and police reports, but most importantly, there will be no live testimony? Did you understand?
Yes, Your Honor.
Court will find that defendant has knowingly and voluntarily waived and consented to stipulation of testimony and stipulations. Court will accept into evidence states exhibits 1 and attachments. The court will review the same. Based upon states exhibits 1 and attachments, the court will find there is sufficient evidence to find you guilty, and the court will find you guilty. Are you proceeding with sentencing, or do you wish?
Judge, it's a cap of 12. I don't know, if we don't need a PSI, maybe just a sentencing hearing, if we could get just maybe if the court would want a background check or criminal history, so we could address the court about.
Do you want to set it the week of March 3rd?
As long as it's the beginning of the week, I'll be in town. That's the end of the week. I'm gonna go see my daughter in New York, so I could do March. I know I'm in town March 3rd.
All right, so we'll come back on March 3rd and state from you, I'll need criminal history and then whatever witnesses you want to submit.
Yes, ma'am.
And I'm sorry, counsel, could I have the trial?
Oh, yes, I thought you might want those.
Yes. All right, we will see you back then, okay?
All right, thank you, Judge.
Thank you. And Norman, what page is he on? Okay. Yes, no PSI. Luis Alberto DeLeon. Oh, and that goes to probation. Court is calling 2024 CR 3774, State of Texas versus Luis Alberto DeLeon. Can I have parties announced for the record for the state? Defense? And are you Mr. Luis Alberto DeLeon Jr.?
Yes, Your Honor.
Counsel, have you received all discovery? Did you review it with your client?
We have, Your Honor.
Court will find that the state is in compliance with discovery. Mr. DeLeon, did you review the application for deferred adjudication with your attorney? Did you understand it and sign it?
Yes, ma'am.
Did you review the true bill of indictment with your attorney? Did you understand it?
Yes, ma'am.
Counsel, do you waive the reading of the indictment?
We do, Your Honor.
State, are you proceeding on the indictment as presented?
No, Your Honor, we're proceeding on a lesser included of indecent assault.
Without objection, Your Honor.
Did you review the court's admonishment with your attorney? Did you understand it and sign it in all the appropriate places?
Yes, Your Honor.
The state is proceeding on the lesser included offense of indecent assault as a Class A misdemeanor. Range of punishment is up to 1 year in the Bexar County Jail and up to a $4,000 fine. Did you understand?
Yes, Your Honor.
If you have a plea with the state, the court does not have to follow your plea. If for any reason the court does not follow your plea and gives you more than you bargained for, the fact that you entered a plea will not be used against you, and you will be allowed to withdraw your plea. Did you understand?
Yes, Your Honor.
Did you understand you have a right to jury trial, a right for you or your attorney to cross-examine and confront any witnesses the state will call, and the right to remain silent?
Yes, Your Honor.
Did you understand by entering this plea, you were giving up those rights?
Yes, Your Honor.
And did you intend to give up those rights and enter into a plea in this case?
Yes, Your Honor.
Did you understand if the court were to grant your application for deferred adjudication, if for any reason your deferred adjudication were revoked, the court could find you guilty and sentence you up to 1 year in the Bexar County Jail and up to a $4,000 fine?
Yes, Your Honor.
Counsel, has your client been able to provide you with any defenses?
He has, Your Honor, and he's also conferred with Mr. Chavez, who's gone over this paper with him prior to the meeting.
All right, and do you have any objection to this attorney standing in for Mr. Kalfas?
No, ma'am.
All right, do you believe your client has a rational as well as a factual understanding of the charges against him?
I do, Your Honor.
And do you believe he's currently competent and was sane at the time of the offense?
I have conferred with him previously, and I do believe that.
Mr. DeLeon, has anyone threatened you, coerced you, or placed you in fear to get you to enter this plea?
No, ma'am.
Anyone promised you anything other than the plea?
No, ma'am.
Are you satisfied with the way you've been represented?
Yes, ma'am.
Are you a U.S. citizen?
Yes, ma'am.
Court will find that defendant has knowingly and voluntarily waived his right to jury trial. Did you review the plea bargain page with your attorney? Did you understand it?
Yes, ma'am.
According to the plea, there's a $1,000 fine. State is proceeding on the less included offense of indecent assault. They're recommending deferred adjudication, MRT, AIDS awareness course, no contact with the complainant, and permanent surrender or T-code and ID and license. Did you understand that to be your plea?
Yes, Your Honor.
Defense, is that the plea?
That is my
State,
understanding.
is that the plea?
Yes, Judge.
Did you review the waiver of appeal paragraph with your attorney? Did you understand it and sign it in both places?
Yes, Your Honor.
Did you understand by signing that you're waiving your right to appeal? The only items that can be appealed are written pretrial motions that have been filed, heard, and ruled upon by the court. Did you understand?
Yes, Your Honor.
Counsel, are there any such motions?
No, Your Honor.
Outside the agreement, the state is requesting that your deferred adjudication be for a term of 2 years, and there'll be 180 hours of community service restitution. Did you understand those are recommendations from the state, and the court does not have to follow those recommendations?
Yes, Your Honor.
Then to the offense, the less included offense, how do you plead? Guilty, not guilty, or no contest?
No contest.
State, any evidence?
State offers states one and its attachments, Your Honor.
Those have been reviewed with our client, Your Honor. We have no objection.
Did you review the waiver and stipulations with your attorney? Did you understand it and sign it in all the appropriate places?
Yes, Your Honor.
Again, did you understand you have a right to jury trial, a right for you or your attorney to cross-examine and confront any witnesses the state would call, and the right to remain silent?
Yes, Your Honor.
Did you understand that today the state will be presenting evidence in the form of witnesses' statements and police reports, but most importantly, there will be no live testimony? Did you understand?
Yes, Your Honor.
Court will find that defendant has knowingly and voluntarily waived and consented to stipulation of testimony and stipulations. Court will accept into evidence states exhibits 1 and attachments and review the same. All right, after reviewing states exhibits 1 and attachments, the court will find there's sufficient evidence to find you guilty. The court will defer finding of guilt as you applied for deferred adjudication. State, did you speak to the complainant about this offer?
Yes, Judge.
And are they in agreement with this offer?
She understands.
All right, and I believe you said she wanted to do victim
She
impact?
does. She was diagnosed with the flu yesterday morning and is very sick right now. So we would just ask for a very short reset, maybe till next Thursday or the end of next week.
All right, I can do it the week of March 3rd or the week of March 17th.
Can we be on next Thursday's docket?
March 6th?
Correct.
Norma, can you put this down for March 6th for sentencing? All right, is there anything else for me to say?
Nothing to update.
All right, once you sign the reset form, you're excused. You're welcome. Yes, and there's no PSI with this. And we're taking our break. If you can put her on hold, I need to call the ignition interlock people.
Send you the link, Judge.
Okay, thank you. And what page is, thank you. And you need to be on time next time. Yeah, let me go over